how do we even begin? Disclaimer, of course.
Warning. What you may see right now is going to be absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, I'd rather watch a DSP video about Wax Vac than talking about Young Jedi Knights, but here we are, and we gotta get it done already. So, Shards of Alderaan is book 7 that we're gonna start with. I barely have any memories left of that book, so I'll start with you guys again. Do you have any memory about this book, and what did you think about it?
This is the most filler book in the series, and I don't understand why it even exists.
Yeah.
Because nothing happens. Honestly, less than nothing happens.
I remember it picks up right where the last one left off, and then it's revealed it's Leia's birthday, only Leia's birthday.
Of course.
And they want to get a present, so they go through the ruins of Chernobyl and get her some dirt, and then they get attacked by Boba Fett for no reason whatsoever.
Yeah.
And that's the book.
That is the book, right? So, like, they're actually not going away until, like, I think the midway point, or even later in the book, where they actually go to Alderaan. But yeah, I mean, what can I say? I have no recollection, which probably like is because it's a filler book. Yeah. Yeah, I have nothing to say. We'll see when we talk about it. I guess Shards of Alderaan is the title. I mean, yeah, we see shards of the planet of Alderaan in this book.
It's there. We go to
there.
it.
Yeah. The German title would be like Debris of Alderaan, so I guess it's basically the same. Oh yeah, we have the cover as well.
There's the titular Alderaan right there.
It's Alderaan, yeah.
Oh, we have to pull up that picture of like Alderaan pre and post Holocaust.
the Marvel.
Yeah.
Post Holocaust, yeah. Yeah, we have that character from those movies that you watched. Remember him? Tenelka, we have Jason, we have Jaina, and we have Lobaka. The most interesting characters that you've ever seen. First, in an all-new saga starring Jason and Jaina. I like that they're Jason and Jaina. Like, sounds like, oh yeah, starring the Olsen twins or something, by the way. Young Jedi Knights. Best-selling authors of Jedi Under Siege. Yeah, thank God Kevin seemed to have given up on advertising this series with New York Times best-selling authors of Jedi Academy trilogy. So that's good. Yeah, I have nothing for it. It's a nothing cover. It's it's kind of the Young Jedi Knights cover that exists with some person in the center, some environment, and then just the faces of the Young Jedi Knights plastered in the background. Yeah, let's just begin. Chapter 1. So yeah, in the last book, the Praxium was blown up. I remember that. So they designed a scaffold. I think that's the I think that's the term. Like something that you build around the buildings. Yeah, okay. And Jaina apparently helped design that because
of course she did.
Because I guess she's also an architect.
She's an architect. She's a scientist. She's a mechanical engineer. She's everything, actually.
She's a pilot.
She's a pilot, yeah.
Yeah, and apparently the New Republic doesn't have anybody for like very basic, like construction work. The scaffold is built out of twigs, so, and not the chocolate bars that might be more stable actually than building it out of literal like wooden twigs. But yeah, that is what they use. And yeah, that's it. Thank God, Jaina's there, because without her, they wouldn't have overridden the computer in the last fucking book, and everyone would be dead. Yeah, and of course they don't use metal scaffolds, because why would you? That would be way
metal is evil.
Metal is evil, yeah. Because have you considered mostly the coloring that metal would have is probably like either a dark gray or black. And
that's
we know
true. And yeah, we know black is evil. I've read some of Star Wars, so like
exactly. I remember the movie Darth Vader had a black suit on. That means black clothing and black coloring is for evil people. So that's good. Yeah.
I agree that black people are evil.
Yeah, same. I mean, what other conclusion could you possibly come to?
Shout
And
out to Titus.
Hello. Maybe you're listening. Probably not. Yeah, and all the kids there are actually helping, like writing down the parts of the temple that they find. Like they're trying to make a puzzle out of it, so they get to rearrange everything. I mean, it's kind of good, I guess, that they participate, but I kind of hope that there's professionals there who do that instead.
This is the New Republic we're talking about.
It's the New Republic. That is fair.
They don't have any like legitimate workers. Everybody's just a spy, and they don't do their job.
Yeah, everyone's a spy, and then there's Leia at the top.
Probably everyone was a spy at all times. Like Admiral Akbar was probably a spy for somebody, or Mon Mothma. Like, how could he be so monumentally stupid if he weren't a spy? Like,
He was a spy for Big Fish.
Like, if somebody actually came out and unironically wrote the story about how literally everyone in the New Republic is a spy, and that's why it's so monumentally shit, I could kind of respect that, actually. So, yeah. I wonder who else is. Maybe it's a young autistic teen who finally has found...
No, he would have commented. I'm gonna guess it's Sibert.
It might be... Oh, man.
Yeah, he's busy pretending to study.
Exactly.
For his exam in 4 weeks.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, he was in VC with us studying, so, obviously. Oh, yeah, we have a nice quote that is going to be important in my video. Quote, Zack seemed ready to accept the guilt for his actions. Which means what precisely? Oh, yeah, that literally nothing will happen. Like, Zack...
He accepts it.
He accepts that he has done... He did a big no-no. Like,
that's so great.
Does the book actually ever acknowledge that children were killed? I don't think it does. Like, there's nobody... Like, does anybody, like, show up to the Praxium and be like, hey, Luke Skywalker, you fucking asshole. Like, you kind of killed my child. Like, this is kind of your fault.
I guess no one actually died on the Praxium side, which...
I can't believe
stupid,
that.
But
yeah,
I guess it's what happened.
The thing is, they were unprotected for so long, and they fought against literal like Star Destroyers who bombarded from the atmosphere. So there's actually no way that nobody died, which is kind of why I refuse to believe it. But yeah, I guess we just don't know anything. And yeah, of course, accepting the guilt that shouldn't even be his choice to make. Like, I'd actually want to have Zack just prosecuted, and the prosecutor preferably should be like Robespierre or something. I would be fine with that. But yeah, nothing happens. He gets maybe a slap on the wrist, and I don't think he even gets that. So whatever. Rayna Thule, of course, being the Chad that he is, he helps. While, before that, we always heard about his clothes, and you just thought, oh, it's like nice clothes that he likes to wear.
Fucking asshole.
Stupid idiot. Like, why don't you want to wear like beige overalls? But no, it's not only that it's nice clothing, like it's actually traditional Alderanian clothing. So it's like even more disrespectful for all the other kids to like make fun of him for wearing not shitty clothing, because it's not like he's wearing a Gucci bag. It's like, no, he's wearing the traditional clothing of his house. Yeah, how about fuck you?
Which is wiped out.
Which is wiped out.
Like, hello, is that fine? Like, is he allowed to do that?
That's pretty culturally insensitive, if I can say so myself.
Of course, yeah. I mean, how dare he respect his traditions? Yeah, but then I thought, oh, it's very, very nice for Luke to insist that he wears these beige Praxium slop clothes instead. Because of course Luke Skywalker, I mean, to be fair to Luke Skywalker wouldn't know how much it must hurt to lose Alderaan. How would he? I mean, he knows nobody from there, right? So he couldn't understand, possibly. Yeah. Oh yeah, Jaina. Jaina has something to say about Reyna, which is quote, "It seems he was brought onto the right path in the last battles." Fuck
That's
off,
crazy.
Jaina. Fuck off, really. He was a very diligent student. He was more serious than you. Like, she literally just went off to like Kashyyyk for no reason. So like, who are you even to tell him anything about that?
He asked questions during class. He
What
actually
a
focused on
loser.
his study. He didn't just wander off into the fucking jungle and try and fix a TIE
You
fighter
almost
for no
got
reason.
murdered by Jason's snake.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he did.
He doesn't want predators roaming around the school grounds. What a horrible human being, right? Oh yeah, since then, she says, then being, quote, him being embarrassed in his fights with the Shadow Academy, he seems, quote, much more modest, like he realized he isn't that talented and important like he thought he was. Well, I don't know what Jaina like took, like what her deal was. I guess she was just jealous, maybe, because
Andrus Spice, I guess.
probably, yeah. And Reyna's like from an actual family.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
that's true. He has a loving family. That's the difference.
that probably is the difference. Many such cases, yeah. By the way, I love how Luke is watching his students work instead of like helping. Like he's just watching.
Hey, where's Ygritte, by the way?
He shows up right in the ending of the series.
But
Yeah,
where's all the other
Where is he right
ones?
now? He's probably just wandering.
Yeah.
Maybe Jason thought he was like a feral predator, so he just locked him in his room or something.
Can you imagine?
Oh, we should also mention this one. According to the Matt Wilkins, his first theory, Junior Jedi Knights takes place between the last book and this one. Makes perfect sense.
But
yeah, that was the original theory.
And
Doesn't
then
make any sense, but
it takes place during book 4, which also doesn't make sense.
even if we theoretically accept that, like, does that even solve any logical issues that this series has? I don't think so. But okay, whatever. Yeah. Oh yeah. Tanelka also has some comments for some reason. Like everybody just decided to dunk on this poor boy. As far as she saw it, quote, he always tried to bask in his glory as a Jedi more than actually train.
fuck you. First of all, look in the mirror. Second of all,
Yeah. Like,
go fuck yourself.
didn't you like do nothing for weeks until you realized, oh, I need to actually build a lightsaber, and that's how you lost your fucking arm? Fuck off, first of all. And second of all, even if that was true and he literally did fuck all day long, that would be Luke's fault because like he is the teacher. So it's kind of the teacher's responsibility to make you do schoolwork if you don't do so yourself.
Especially at a school that's like 24/7.
Yeah, like it's like it's like summer camp, but it's only that summer never ends, so you're trapped there. Like, and it's Luke Skywalker. He could push you a bit. Oh, there he is. Hello, Arizona. I've heard that you've come to your senses, so you're very welcome here. Enjoy the bashing that's happening right now. Yeah, Tanelka is a bitch, I guess. That's probably what I was about to say anyway. And
Hated moment.
Yes, I have. Very good. Very good. Good on you. Yeah, and there's an animal that's helping with the work there. It's a Ronto, which is, I guess, just a giant lizard. By the way, a Ronto is notoriously difficult to tame. I'm just gonna put that in as a as a little pre-warning. He helps with like pulling the heavy weights until at some point a bunch of like people just start to bombard it with orders like, hey, do this, do that. So much that he like gets confused, I guess, and he hits the scaffold and the stones from the temple, which could have almost killed Reyna, by the way. and then like the Ronto runs away. Can you please use technology?
Yeah,
Why
yeah.
are
The
we
scaffolding falls. The scaffolding made of twigs, and it almost lands on Raynor, and then Tenoka tackles him out of the way because she's so awesome and great and muscular.
Yeah, she's an Amazon, as Kevin keeps telling me, which is very inappropriate still. But yeah, please don't. Yeah, don't use technology. I mean, this is Star Wars, right? Who would need technology, especially in the
Imagine if there was like almost ship things that could like float.
ew, cringe, but not in the biggest faction of the universe, right? I mean, they wouldn't have that. That's wrong. That's incorrect. Sorry. It's not the like it doesn't quite reach the levels. That doesn't mean it's not bad. So, oh yeah, I think Luke is the one who then says to the whole scenery, quote, a setback, but no misfortune. No, it's Tenel-Ka. Tenel-Ka says that. Like, oh, this was a setback, but no misfortune. Like, both you and Reyna almost died. So, like, actually, shut up, please. Yeah, and then Jason follows the escaped Ronto, quote, because he knew no one else would. Why wouldn't anyone? Like, there is somebody who brought him there, right? Like a beast tamer or something, an adult one, who would usually like make sure this beast does what it is supposed to. And there is somebody there who's like feeding this thing, right? Presumably he'd have some control over it. But no, I guess nobody's there, so Jason does it. And then Jason tries telling a joke. He has no punchline. Then he does. I wrote it down as he does a Jason, so I guess he just speaks to the animal and then it comes back. And that's it. That's the first chapter. Yeah, that was Kevin in his distilled form. That was like.
Did you mention that Jason talked to the Ronto and tried to make a joke, but he couldn't figure out the punchline?
Exactly. Yeah. And then I
sorry,
said,
I was looking at it.
Then he did a Jason thing by talking more, and then it worked, and that was it.
Comedy, and that's the only joke we get this book, which is sad. That's number 13 out of all of Young Jedi Knights.
Number 13. Oh no. Amazon. Yeah. Like at least in the German version, and I assume it's in the English version as well, that she occasionally is referred to as an Amazon. And maybe that's just me, but to me it always has some like sexual undertone, and she's like a teenager. But maybe that's me. Maybe that's my dirty mind. I wouldn't.
I'm just gonna say it means like muscular.
Yeah, that's probably what it's supposed to mean. It just sounds weird to me, I guess. Milky Way. Yeah. Isn't the Milky Way even? I think the Milky Way is canon to Star Wars, so.
Yeah, thanks to supernatural encounters.
Oh, what? I thought it was in there already before. Oh no, Planet Earth was before that. Not the Milky Way. Okay.
Yeah, Milky Way pops up in some of the translations, but
I mean, Troy Denning
not
thinks.
English versions.
I mean, Troy Denning thinks the Star Wars universe is in the Milky Way, so that tracks.
Yeah, fair enough.
Oh my god, guys, Liv is awake.
Oh,
Yes,
Liv. Hey, Liv. Hope you're doing well.
Liv, if you are willing to suffer through supernatural encounters right now, I'm up for it, just so I can escape.
Hope you're doing well, Liv. Good day.
Yeah.
KJ constantly jerks off to her. He also talks about her incredible legs and her smooth hair. Yeah. Yeah, he does. Oh well.
Proto-Troy.
Here's like all roads lead back to Kevin. Pico and me keep saying it because it's true. Like everything that I hear about Troy Denning, he did before that. Like random acts of gratuitous violence, Kevin. Perverted and weird shipping, Kevin. Nonsensical stories that lead nowhere, Kevin. That's good to hear, Liv. Nice.
Okay.
So we can make Noah suffer a bit more through.
Yeah, you get twice the suffering now.
Awesome.
Guardians of the Force. Yeah, that's the official That's the official translation for Legacy of the Force from German back to English. Hey, Jason. Hope you're doing well. So, chapter 2, yeah, Jesus. That one took a while. Yeah, Zack is suffering, which means for once I'm actually happy reading Young Jedi Knights. Jaina, oh yeah, so Zack is in a cell basically because I guess he's kind of having after effects of being evil. And then she builds, like Jaina, she builds a well in the wall of his prison cell.
Is that what happened? I didn't have that written down.
He maybe it's not a well, but he has a water supply.
No, I fully believe that's that.
It might not
saying.
be a
It's just
well.
I didn't write down what Jaina did.
Yeah,
because I didn't care.
But yeah. First of all, I was like, "What?" Like, not even anything beyond that. Just what? What does that even mean? But yeah, second of all, I'm not sure it's really smart to equip a prisoner who's clearly mentally ill and unhinged with means to like drown himself. But that's just me, you know. Why Rocky? Yeah, he has that for a while, I think. Snape looks a bit like me. I have the feeling you don't look like Alan Rickman, actually. But that's just... Zack is just a fake Kipteron. I mean... Zack only didn't have the means to like kill billions of people, or like millions.
Zack, Rabba, and Anya are all the same character.
Yes, they are. They actually are.
Probably Kip.
Yeah. Kip just had a weapon that can wipe out a solar system. That's like the only difference. He had the means to do much more than the other three had. Yeah, you know, but then again, I might not be an expert about wall welds, so maybe that's just a me thing. I fully accept the possibility. Yeah, Luke has offered Zack a position to learn in the Praxium. Great. I don't really know what I expected. Of course, this was what was going to happen. That's it. Just like there's no consequences. This boy is gonna just get released into the world where he can like manifest his mental decay against more innocent people. Thank you, Kevin. Truly, from the bottom of my heart. Thanks. Good job. Oh yeah. Oh, Jason talks to him and he's like, quote, "They probably don't trust you, but I'm sure they'll change their minds soon." That led me to like ask myself, does that mean Jason trusts him? Like, none of these characters draw any consequences from all of that. Like, it's just as if nothing happened. I mean, they vaguely reference it at points. Like, oh, I wish Zack was here right now. Well, if only he hadn't done these things, then he would be here.
If only he wasn't a piece of shit.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't quite know what characteristic this is supposed to be for Jason, but I'll be happy when that's gone. So that's just me. I mean, Kip has a cameo later.
Yeah. But unironically, Kip should be in the series. Him and like most of the Praxium.
Yeah, because they actually have nothing better to do.
Yeah.
So they should just be here. And
at least they should be This would be the references you'd actually make in a series you like Young Jedi Knights, explaining where they are and how the galaxy is right now, and
like where
we get Tion.
Where is Kamsalusa? Where is he? Like, is he doing anything?
He's supposed to be Luke's number 2.
Yeah, like what is he doing? Or who else? Where's Kirana T? Or Dorsk 82, whatever.
Streen, who's also supposed to be like high up there in the ranks.
Yeah, he also only gets a cameo with Kip Duran together.
Yeah,
that's it. Yeah,
except the references to other things. There's just wanking off Tales of the Jedi for no reason, instead of actually explaining what these characters are doing.
Hey, remember Tales of the Jedi? By the way, now available on Amazon, $15.99.
I do actually remember. Although it would have been cheaper back then, and probably not on Amazon yet.
Yeah, probably. But oh well. I want to. No. I mean, they are, per definition, I guess, marginally better. You could, in some ways, say that.
There's something sequencing characters in the later books, and
Yeah, but
that's the difference.
the thing is, you have to read like about 1,500 pages for the occasional good moment by some side characters. So I'd argue that it's actually not worth it. So don't bother. Yeah, but that was just so Luke could do stupid shit. So I don't quite. I mean, good on him, I guess, but yeah, that absence made no sense. Yeah, true. Chapter 3. Oh, Jesus, it's once again I have so many notes. Fuck. Okay. Yeah, chapter 3. So Tenel Quark, quote, she refuses not to do what she likes now that she only has one arm. Just get a prosthetic, please. It's a choice you made. And the great thing, usually you get to make a choice once and then never again.
In this one, it's a constant choice. You're actively choosing not to get yourself a prosthetic arm for no reason.
Every day you're waking up, you could just say, I'm gonna get one right now. And you actually, like, you're making Tachu like look like a very normal human being. Like, she's offering you, hey, please, for God's sake, take an arm, please. And she would give you one, the best one there probably is. So yeah, or like at least attach your lightsaber to your, your stump or whatever, so you'll look like a cool battle cyborg. Like, do something useful with it. It's just a nothing on your side now. Oh yeah, people are like constantly now trying to find solutions for her newfound everyday problems that she has because she only has literally one arm. Oh yeah, including, that was kind of funny. Anakin, for some reason, is the one who gives her tips on how to like solve problems, like how to braid her hair with one arm. Which, like, to me is now my headcanon reason why Jason later is gonna bang Anakin's girlfriend. Like, that's just his revenge. Because I mean, there's no other good character reason I'm gonna come up with. Yeah, that's better. If anybody's gonna try and tell you that you need to actually read X before reading NJO, they're either lying or they don't know that they're just incorrect. It's not true. Like, there is no information where I'm like, if I wouldn't have this, I couldn't possibly understand future works. Like, I'm sorry, no, that doesn't. Like, you'll get minor character or planet references occasionally. That's what I expect, and that's it, really. Yeah, like,
Yes.
but like every day she wakes up and chooses not to get a new arm for no reason, really. Like, it's literally just pride. No, you don't. Believe me, you actually don't want to, because do you want to read like 1,000 pages for one trilogy to get a minor reference that really means nothing? If you say you want, you're incorrect. You don't want to. Jason. Why are you so negative, man? Why are women? That's true. No, you don't. Shut up. No. Good woman. That is possible in theory. Arizona, there was a time not so long ago, apparently, where you thought Young Jedi Knights wasn't that bad. It was actually really good, and that we just hated on it for the sake of hating on it. Maybe trust us on this one. Then I have nothing to tell you. Yeah. So, oh yeah, Tenel Khan, once again, she insults Reyna in her mind as being, quote, frequently arrogant, even though she's the one who makes people accommodate like her self-imposed misery, while he's just there to help. like you're making your friends kind of feel bad because you more or less can't function in a lot of ways now, and like your friends are so nice that they come up with solutions, even though you have a solution that you could just take it. And Tenelka, I don't get it. Tenelka seems to really admire Luke Skywalker. Why does she like just kind of gloss over the fact that, oh yeah, he, by the way, has also a synthetic arm and it's okay?
She says that in that monologue, and like originally when
Yeah,
she was thinking about it, and then
But-
she's like, "Nah, this ain't me, dog."
exactly. Her conclusion was, he made his choice and I'll make mine. Okay, but you have no reason to.
But why did you make this choice?
Yeah, exactly. Ugh. Yeah. I mean, imagine the worst thing about the Diversity Alliance was them being negative. Jesus. This series could have done something. Yeah. Oh yeah. Jaina, she blushes from excitement of seeing Zack. It's like, yeah, at this point I concluded that Jaina was lost as a character, and all trauma that she's gonna get in the future she deserves.
She's a teenage girl. She likes the bad boys without personalities. It's just a thing. It's a part of growing up, you know.
The only male characters that she desperately wanted to connect to are Zack and Coral. So make of that what you will. Like, both of them tried to kill her parents, I guess, but
Because he's hot and has a ponytail.
that's probably the extent of it. Yeah, I at least assume Jack has some class. I know nothing about him.
It's great.
Yeah. Like, he's the first guy who doesn't seem totally unhinged that she's interacting with, who isn't also related to her. Hey, Marvelite Alex. Hello. Only gets worse from here. Yeah, as I concluded from this point on, Jaina deserves all trauma that she gets. Hope you're doing well as well, Alex.
Yes, thank you.
You are correct.
Yeah, but apparently Jaina Solo disagrees with you. So,
She's also the bug slut, as we know.
Yeah.
Yeah, as I said, at some point I gave up on calling Jaina, and I just refer to her as bug slut for the entirety of the Diversity Alliance arc. So yeah, that's that. I mean, but the Empire is right, though. So isn't that a good thing?
Yeah.
Bald or ponytail? The big questions. Oh, there you go. Immediate answer. Yeah, you can fight that out in the comments if you want to. Yeah. Oh yeah, so Jaina is relieved her friend is well. And I was like, yeah, have fun with the Killix. That's really all I have to say. Oh, another quote. MTD gets more features because people understand him now, and you should too. That's kind of what Luke said. I'm like, Luke, MTD can go to a computer and just download an update. You actually need to teach your students, though. You know that, right? And seemingly,
he's got to stand there with his arms crossed and watch.
and watch them very sternly, of course. I mean, Zack is barely qualifies as a human being, but I get what you mean, though. So, you know. Yeah, they aren't. What can I say? They aren't. And
Kevin retconned it in the essential chronology.
Yeah. And remember the leader of the rogue royal guards that escaped? He's gonna make a return, and we'll talk about that. Yeah, but after a long intermezzo after Unifying Force. I can't immediately close the book of Unifying Force and then jump into Joiner King. I'd legitimately cut myself or something. No. Yeah, it's some source book. I don't know.
The essential chronology.
Essential chronology. There you go.
Mhm.
Yeah, he makes a return. We'll talk about that more. Actually, no, but it's not only the questions that are trapping me. So I expected to waste a lot of time because it's 3 stupid Young Jedi Knights books. Yeah, there you go. And now we kind of get to the semblance of the plot. So Reyna's dad, Bornan, born in Thule. He went missing before he was supposed to, quote, meet a woman from Rylith. Yeah. I think I wrote down woman from Twi'lek, and I don't know if I just
from the
I-
Twilight Planet. Ryloth is probably what you were trying to write, and then you just stopped midway, mid thought.
yeah, either that or the book was actually incorrect, which might be because those PDF versions were weird sometimes. But yeah, exactly. For something politics, that's what they were going to meet up with. I was like, let me guess, there's no guards with him.
Of course.
I don't even remember, but yeah. Oh yeah, right. That's going to be explained later. I remember. Yeah, and Han tells everybody the news, and he has orders to let Reyna stay on Yavin 4.
Oh yeah, Han's here now, by the way.
Han's here, yeah, because Han is that character I remember from some movies I watched.
Yeah,
And-
remember when he left like a few days before?
Yeah.
Before this, what, like right before the Shadow Academy attack for no reason. Remember?
I remember.
So now he's back and
to
he's here.
deliver the bad news, I guess. And yeah, he's supposed to let Reyna stay on Yavin 4, quote, since this is the most secure place for him right now. He almost died here twice. Crazy thought, that's just me, but if there's a question about what's the most secure place in the New Republic, the answer is always Coruscant. Like, there is no other answer, actually. Never. Like, how is Yavin 4 the most secure place to stay? It's not, under no circumstances. Hey, he's making an effort. We gotta appreciate it, right?
Yeah, no, I mean his questions were correct in this case because it doesn't make any sense.
I remember Han from those previous works that Kevin will make should. Yeah. The amount of times I wrote down a sentence like this or a variation of this sentence is mind-boggling. Like it was really.
That's what this arc is. It's just
Remember.
Suddenly X shows up, and then, hey,
Yep.
I remember that from the movie. Oftentimes, the character is verbally saying, "I remember that from the movie."
Yes. Oh, remember how we formed the truce at Bakura? That's kind of the level of stuff.
Was that before or after the courtship of Princess Leia?
That's a good question that I can't answer you, but you may go to Barnes and Noble, $7.99. Yeah, there's no reason that this planet shouldn't be attacked like every week.
I mean,
Like,
it basically does get attacked like 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, that's
we
not
know of.
enough. 4 or 5 times should be like in the span of 1 week because they never actually learn anything. I think now they have a fleet. That's something. But
Yeah, because of the Shadow Academy.
yeah,
It took the Shadow Academy and their shield failing.
and yeah,
Their
and
shield that they
Sala-
just set up for the Shadow Academy.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, once again, quote, best you can do is hide here. Like, everyone knows this place. Probably everyone knows that you are here at this place. You have no defense. And there's not even a physical temple to hide in anymore. Like, you have nothing, actually. So I don't know what you're on about. Yeah, Reyna even immediately, like, he immediately offers to lead the search team for his dad because he's just a good, nice boy who's trying to do what's right. Gee, I can't handle so much Kevin staring at me. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I begged for this book to have mercy on my poor tortured soul because, yeah, the pain was piling up. The government not supporting Yavin 4 is going to be interesting, but I'm actually in favor of destroying that stupid place. I know about at least
But
one
Edge of
other
Victor is
place.
based as fuck.
Yeah, I know about one other place being wiped out, which I can't wait to read. So, it would be so. That's actually the only thing I like taking away from Black Fleet Crisis is to see those fuckers get what they deserve. Chapter 4. Oh yeah, quote, Boba Fett was the best. We remember that character? Oh yeah, I couldn't stop laughing because
I think we should add a quick disclaimer for the people that know the retcon of Boba Fett in this series, we're going to be treating Boba Fett as actual Boba Fett right now.
Yeah, because supposedly this is his daughter or granddaughter.
Daughter.
It's in a retcon, this is all his daughter and not actually him. But of course, in this series, it is literally him. So yeah, we're not gonna pretend as though.
It also doesn't change anything, by the way.
True,
It
doesn't.
sucks either way.
But remember Abel Gpinia's reasoning why it had to be retconned. Because Boba made peace with Han in the last one standing. So why is he going after Han's children?
Because it's a completely different job now.
Yeah, Boba Fett, like the Boba Fett in this series, he says like it's never personal, it's just business. Like, yeah, he's not personally gonna try and fuck up Han Solo outside of his business anymore. I guess that's what that's supposed to mean. But yeah, what I couldn't stop laughing about is that I guess at some point the Slave 1 ceased to exist. And there was also a Slave 2 and a Slave 3, so now he's flying the Slave 4.
Yeah, we found out
the Slave 2 is in Dark Empire.
Yeah, the Slave 2 is Dark Empire. The Slave 3 is off screen.
Yeah, we never see that one. We don't know what it looks like. And this is Slave 4. And don't worry, Slave 1 comes back in Karen Trevor's Legacy of the Force books.
So all of that was pointless anyway.
Yes,
perfect.
It is. I don't know what happened to the Slave 1, that he used different ships, but I guess he just has a big car collection, essentially.
Yeah, like, where would it be? I mean, he was on Tatooine the last time he was alive, kind of, I guess.
I think the story there is that the New Republic found the Slave 1 floating in space, and they took it, and later on he stole it back. I think that's the story.
Yeah, but that's stupid.
I know.
Yeah. A lot of things are very stupid here. Yeah, like, I'm never... The thing is, with retcons, if you introduce retcons like in later books, they can always fix the story. They can. They can never fix the books, because books that came earlier, they are set in stone. Like, they are written the way they're written. And unless you rewrite this book and republish it, you can't fix this work. Like, you know, we always say, Revenge of the Sith, the novelization, fixes the story of Episode 3. It doesn't fix the movie Star Wars Episode 3. Because the movie is made the way it's made. So, yeah, of course I'm going to treat Boba the way he's supposed to be treated in this point in time, which is as actual Boba Fett. Yeah, I would throw 99% of these books, like, cut out the retcon. I would probably throw 99% of these books so far. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, and yeah, as you said, like, Slave 2 apparently is in the Dark Empire source book, and I guess, you know, just general Dark Empire. Oh, yeah, Slave 3 is only in the Essential Guide to Characters. I think, Pico, you found that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And, yeah, so he got and also lost the ship off screen. It sounds like kind of a shitty bounty hunter, but whatever. Yeah.
Greatest bounty hunter in the world, by the way. Or the galaxy.
The galaxy, yeah. Best one ever. And yeah, Boba is supposed to find Reyna's dad from German, like the German translation of Diversity Alliance is Alliance of the Forgotten, which sounds as cringy and like pathetic as Diversity Alliance does. He, of course, doesn't care about them, though, because why would he? Because he's a bounty hunter. Oh, yeah, that's a weird German translation thing. So the only correct translation for bounty hunter should be Kopfgeldjäger. But here it's Prämienjäger. So, like, it's a prize hunter and not a bounty hunter, basically.
Schnäppchenjäger.
Schnäppchenjäger, oh god, no. Yeah, it just sounds off, but it's a German thing, so whatever. Yeah, so Born and Thule, he apparently has some shipment that includes vital information for the Diversity Alliance. And yeah, for some reason, this Twi'lek, she's called Nola Tarkona. See, I was not quite broken down yet, because I actually named the things as they're named in the book. Yeah, apparently she knows how much money Vader offered him for capturing Han Solo, which is a scene I remember from a movie, by the way. and she offers to pay him double the amount of that, which I find strange.
It's a bit weird for her to know that. I guess it implies that the New Republic disclosed that, even though
Why would they?
I don't know. Because Boba Fett wouldn't do that.
Yeah,
I feel like that's client stuff, right?
I feel like, I mean, this is a real life thing, right? If you're a contract worker, you would never reveal what your usual contract rate is, because I guess it just would be nice for people to know that. People don't need to know that. So
because if they know, then you can never really get offered more.
Yeah, like, oh, you think that work was worth more than, or like worth less than what you're doing for me now, or something? Yeah. So no, contract work, like, nobody would willingly reveal that, and there's no actual way for the Diversity Alliance to know. So it's just, yeah, we'll offer you double of what Darth Vader offered you for Han Solo, which, by the way, is a ludicrous endeavor to be. But okay, whatever. Magneto cameo. Yeah, there you go. He really shouldn't. Hey, remember the price Vader was giving to Boba from the Empires? I remember. The thing is, I remember this movie, so it's actually smart.
But guys, I think you don't realize this is just fun.
It's fun.
It is fun.
It is nuanced.
Although I feel like cutting my arteries, but it's fun. Yeah.
It's nuanced. It has pacing.
It has pacing.
It indeed does have pacing.
I agree. It has.
And you know, Jason is Jason is one of my fictional inspirations. Just like Jesus Christ is my inspiration
and Spider-Man.
in real life. And Spider-Man, obviously.
You guys are awful. Okay. Yeah, we have this. Oh yeah. Quote, he, meaning Bornen, refused to take the usual diplomatic escort team with him. Why is that a thing? This isn't a choice that a person should be able to make. Like, no, by the way, you won't. I mean, I guess he's kind of the patriarch of the Thule family, but people really shouldn't let him go alone. Like, please.
Did you just say he's the patriarchy?
Diversity.
Makes sense, right? I mean, we're fighting the Diversity Alliance here, so we may as well get our themes
Kevin the Prophet.
Yeah, I mean, he kind of saw a lot of things coming, so fair enough. I can't fault him for that.
And by the end of this series, we can spoil, he kills off both the Patriarchy and the Diversity Alliance.
True.
So the message is, fuck everybody. Which I can get behind.
Yeah. Yeah, so these people are just memes. So yeah, and so Bubba, he like speculates, oh, he probably saw something valuable for the Twi'lek, and that's why he went alone or something. It makes no sense.
Can you highlight Jason's comment for a sec? Yes, and it's run better than the New Republic.
Yeah.
It's got a better military. It's got a better security system.
It's got coded messages, by the way.
Yeah,
like
encryption and everything.
Like with actual sensible. Like you even get to see how the encryption works, and of course it doesn't make a lot of sense because the system isn't explained to you, and that's okay. Like that's something that doesn't need to be explained. It's okay. Weird symbols and phrases, and they mean something else. But yeah, they work better. And they actually lost everything and had to, like, they're self-built, basically. So, yeah. The Thules are better than the Organas, by the way.
Yep.
That's pretty much...
They lost everything but the kitchen sink. And by kitchen sink, I mean fountain, because it was off-world.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. Okay, whatever. And yeah, Bornen apparently... Oh yeah, he also gets described as, oh, he's very pompous and he loves ceremonial stuff. And like, yeah, he's a self-made man after losing like everything.
He lost Alderaan. Why wouldn't he?
Like, But never mind. Pompous idiot, I guess. Sure. Yeah, and Boba, of course, knows that Reyna is on Yavin 4 because it's open information. Like that's not a secret. And he's like Boba Fett is mad at Reyna because he quote never had to work hard for anything in his life. Like he's like 14. Like, yeah, he's a kid. Of course he didn't have to. Like people don't actually usually have fucked up lives like you have, Boba, so I'm sorry about that, I guess. Yeah, and Boba is like he's like searching around in the area where apparently Bornin got lost. Like, where's the New Republic? Aren't they searching for him? Like, if Boba is searching in that area, doesn't that mean it's like open information and they could be searching there as well? I guess not. But yeah, there's another bounty hunter there instead. And Boba is like surprised by it because he hasn't even activated his weapon systems, which is surprisingly amateurish for the biggest bounty hunter ever. But that's me. Yeah, and the dude, he shoots him with an iron cannon. But then Boba Fett, he has like a rocket that's mechanically launched and not like, not by electronics or whatever.
It's not a
And-
laser beam.
Yeah, exactly. And he does that right as the other guy tries to enter his ship, so he
Like a
destroys
space
it.
torpedo.
Yeah. Very lucky for Boba Fett that the other guy just didn't blow him up and shoot him to pieces, because that could have been quite awkward for him. And yeah, and I guess Bornin left like wreckage behind at some place on purpose to make everyone believe that he actually died. But he also might have escaped. So we don't know. And I guess now Boba wants to kill him, which I don't think was the original task that he was given by Tarkona. Yeah. By the way, this book series is Young Jedi Knights, right? I just want to point that out.
Mhm.
Like, we're still in Young Jedi Knights. Yeah. Chapter 5. Oh yeah, after the battle was done, Zek covered himself in mud. I have no idea what the context for that was, but I just thought it was funny. Yeah, I still can't quite fathom why kids are repairing a building instead of an experienced company. And their training is now effectively frozen as well, since they're all just building. So that's great.
Okay,
They have nowhere else to go, right?
you have to look at this from Luke Skywalker's perspective.
Mhm.
You're in charge of this school and it gets damaged. Are you gonna waste your precious money hiring a construction company, or are you just gonna force your students to rebuild the shit?
That's fair, honestly.
Even though it's sponsored by the New Republic.
It's
Like,
not like they
directly.
have anything to do. Like, they can pause the fucking school for a couple of weeks while they build the shit. You know?
Of course, yeah. Obviously.
They don't know about the Yuuzhan Vong being
Yeah.
on the march.
They don't know about the Diversity Alliance coming. They don't know about anything.
Yeah, they don't know. They think they have all the time in the world. I mean, they have the experienced Jedi are apparently out there. They must be, because they aren't at the school.
I'm sure they're existing somewhere. Exactly. And
Child
the
labor.
adults, like Luke is actually just watching there, like a Chinese sweatshop worker. It's great.
I imagine it like the scene with the Indian slave children in Temple of Doom.
Only not as funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's never true. But there you go. It could defend them. I suppose that would be it would be a beginning. Yeah. Oh yeah. Another beautiful quote. The Shadow Academy exposed the Praxium's weakness. So if you needed an enemy bombardment to tell you that you need defense and like a guarded shield generator in the most important place of your faction, then I'm sorry to say you're kind of stupid.
Reminder, when this was said, the Academy was already attacked by Darla and Pelian's forces, the Sons, Dark Jedi, the Reborn, and the Disciples of Ragnos.
I mean, yeah, but But have you considered that they're Jedi and they can move things with their mind? Yeah, and at this point, I kind of concluded that I might have been too harsh on George Lucas because, man, prequel Jedi look like geniuses at this point. That was kind of where I was already warming up to the idea that, yeah, Praxium Jedi are actually more stupid than prequel Jedi. And I don't feel bad for holding that belief. These are the seats for Hitler, Luke, and true. I guess so. Yeah, exactly.
It's actually genius when you think about it.
Interconnected.
Luke's plan.
Luke. Yeah, exactly. It's the clone.
And apologies, canon.
True, I agree. I mean, everything in the expanded universe is canon, right?
Yeah. Thanks to Supernatural Encounters, everything is canon. Even stuff outside of Star Wars, every franchise is canon.
Really?
Real life, guys, real life is canon.
I mean, real life is less retarded than Young Jedi Knights, so that's okay. Yeah. Oh yeah, another beautiful quote. Nothing will ever be like before. Yeah, you will 100% not get any defense around the temple. So that's actually just a lie. Everything will be like before. I guess they got a fleet though, so maybe that's in though. The thing is, that could save Star Wars, but it doesn't. Because I think Star Wars is too much. I think Star Wars is too satanic. It's too stupid to be solved. Yeah, nobody could ever do that. Oh yeah. Quote, after all, the biggest threat to the Praxium was destroyed, meaning the Shadow Academy. Which is great.
Is that the biggest threat to the...
I don't think so, no.
I guess maybe currently, maybe.
I think a rabbit, like former student who was flying around with a ship that could destroy a solar system, I think that's quite a bit more. But I think a kind of insane woman with a superstar destroyer flying into your planet, I think that's more. But yeah, it could be just the current enemy that he's meaning.
A bunch of cultists sucking out the force energy of the temple. That's also pretty bad.
Exar Kun,
yeah, he's
a couple of Sith ghosts roaming around.
Yeah, they were kind of a nuisance, I guess.
There are still Sith mutant monsters on Yavin 4, by the way.
There are.
There's one that shows up in the Invasion.
Oh yeah, by the way, remember that like giant monster that attacked in like the first book?
Yep.
That never gets mentioned again. It's just there, and then it goes away, and then it's done. Like that.
Okay, Rosinos, this is the best comment you've ever made. Please highlight it.
Yeah, I've been saying that.
Definitely build a fence.
Like that's true. They haven't even put up a sign like "Please do not disturb" or "Do not enter." You could try.
A no smoking sign would be better defense than what they have.
True. Nothing will be like before. He was trying, I guess.
This will begin to make things right.
That's probably what Kevin thought.
This is my Shards of Alderaan.
True. For real. Oh yeah. So now there will be a military defense station in orbit, along with a new shield generator that's probably also not defended. And they're gonna have updated communication systems, which is something. Thank God, yeah, they needed to look total annihilation straight in the eye to realize that. 3 times, I think, now.
I think maybe the 4th.
4 times.
Four
times the Academy was attacked? Yeah, 4.
Great. Yeah, I was like, I don't even know what that orbital station means, but I just hoped it meant that a fleet was coming along with that. And I guess it did, so there you go. But of course, Luke wasn't a fan of that. Quote, Luke doesn't like that, since it makes everything more complicated. But the Jedi Academy should never be the defenseless target of an assault again.
That's crazy.
I actually cannot fathom this. Like, Luke, seriously, he wants more of his students to get slaughtered because it wouldn't be so complicated. I was like, I'm sorry, this is... maybe this is a hot take, but this is TLJ Luke for me.
Yeah.
Like you want your students to die. I'm sorry. Like that's literally what you want. The only argument that he brought up is it makes things too complicated.
Kevin hates Luke.
Yeah.
I've come to that conclusion
Yeah.
ages ago.
And you're not wrong, because that's TLJ levels. Sorry, I have nothing else to say about that. That's TLJ. But yeah, there you go. But hey, yeah, it was all fine in the end because, quote, Master Luke trusted his students. You know, I have to say, even the most diligent teenage space wizards kind of look like clowns when they're faced by a fleet of Star Destroyers. Maybe that's just me, though.
A reminder how much Luke trusts his students when you get to Crucible, when he orders another student to shoot at one with a loaded gun. Because he was a little bit cocky.
I mean, fair enough.
In the last book, how many direct one-on-one fights did the Jedi students win? Because I'm pretty sure the answer is 0. Because
in Crucible?
No, in this one.
I remember there were these lizard Jedis but I guess there were 2 people. The tree Jedi, he won a fight. I guess it was 1-on-1.
Okay, so there's that one, Tion's group, but that was like a group of 6 with Tion there, and they beat like 3 people.
Is it crazy if I think about how the one guy who's probably won the most one-on-one fights is a literal tree that can't move?
Yeah.
Like, everyone else had help. Like Tenel Ka beat Tamith Kai, but I think
Loey was there, and it took a rocket to the station she was standing on for her to fall off the edge.
Zek, he was also defeated by multiple people. Reyna was defeated. The lizards were 2 people. Like it was 2 lizards against, I think, 1, 2, or 3 guys. So yeah, the most effective.
The only one-on-one battle was Reyna and Zek.
Yeah. Oh, I guess Luke and Brekkus, they also fought, but Brekkus then flew away in a jetpack.
Like a little bitch, yeah.
Yeah. So I guess that wasn't technically. It wasn't him being like truly defeated and killed or like disabled. So yeah, the most successful one-on-one fighter is a literal tree that can't move for months. Yeah. That is kind of a very dour conclusion that I've just reached, that we've just reached. But yeah.
I completely agree.
But the book tries to clown on him for no reason.
Yeah, it tries to tell you that he did it out of hubris instead of standing up for the whole Praxium.
You know, like hubris usually doesn't lead you to selflessly try to sacrifice your own life for protecting everything. Like, if you're that kind of guy, you'll usually just run away, which he didn't. Yep, there you go. So yeah, Jaina and Zek, they think about memories of like breaking out I guess the Imperial Palace where Jaina sleeps, and bathing in a fountain of some like public square on Coruscant.
What?
Yeah, they went to like some fountain that was in some public square on Coruscant, and they bathed there together. That's like a childhood memory they have. Jaina and Zek.
Okay.
You know what?
I can see why this was Troy Denning's favorite book series.
Yeah, I kind of feel now as well. You know what would be really awkward? Coruscant, I think Coruscant used to be Imperial Center, right?
Yes.
Now just imagine, weird mind experiment. There's a rogue Imperial spy still on Coruscant, which doesn't seem
okay.
To
that doesn't make any sense. There's no spies in the New Republic. Let's be real here.
Okay, fair enough. But let's just try and stretch logic a bit here. Okay, Imperial rogue spy on Coruscant. He sees the 2 of them bathe in the fountain, and he walks up to them and shoots his entire magazine into their face.
Yeah,
but that wouldn't happen.
Of course. I mean,
Don't
nobody would ever try to kill the daughter of Leia, right? Nobody would be so stupid. Okay.
Yeah, Rosinos is right, by the way. What is it with Kevin J. Anderson and bathing?
True, yeah, we have the JAT bathing as well, right? Ugh. Yeah.
And that scene is better in Jedi, by the way. Just toss
We
them.
also have, again, connecting Kevin and Troy in Star by Star. We have the famous Sabongla bathing scene.
I cannot wait to not read that, but I know I will, so that makes me sad. Yeah, so Jaina, she wants Zack to come back to the Jedi Academy, although he was never there, but I guess she wants him to stay. But he can't, though, because things changed and he can't erase the past and blah, blah, blah. I mean, he's not going to trial, so he kind of does erase the past. But yeah, oh man, so many things. So first of all, Jaina literally has nothing to say. Like, she's just diving into memories. All the pain and the heartbreak that Zack is responsible for is just kind of unaddressed. What about the kids like who died?
No, that didn't happen. So
yeah,
there you
the
go.
fact that no dead kid was named doesn't lead me to believe that nobody died. There were Star Destroyers around. You can't tell me there's not a single.
No, they didn't. They didn't.
They didn't. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Yeah. Oh yeah, and I was really mad to see with how much confidence Zack just declared that he'll go somewhere else. He should be locked up. He's an adult that committed like crimes against humanity, but nobody cares.
Just following orders.
Of course, yeah. Even though he's kind of whatever.
Dude, he was the Darkest Knight.
He was the Darkest Knight, indeed. You have to realize the following: the New Republic is a government, not a military court, and that's really all there's to say. Remember, that's all reasoning given why Kip Doran never goes to court, because the New Republic, in fact, isn't a court. I guess that isn't incorrect.
Yeah, that's correct, actually. Yeah, technically speaking.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yes. The dark side made him do it. And if I say what okay, no.
Oh, that trend will continue very much. Don't worry.
Yep. Yeah.
Although Raba has a pretty nice ending where she dies of
she
plague
dies from a stupid virus. Oh, it's so great. Yeah. But yeah, they go swimming in the river instead. I see that Jaina is making like early experiences with enemy fraternization. All of that is, of course, culminating in the natural end of a character arc in Darknest. So I have to say, it's truly a magnificent build-up that's starting here. Like, that she's warming up to the idea, and it's just gonna continue from there.
It's a through line.
Exactly, yeah. Chapter 6. Jesus Christ. Zack recognized Luke was right. The lightning rod needed to be repaired. Yeah, the lightning rod is a piece of shit, actually. So I guess that's true. I guess good on you, Zack, for listening. Oh yeah, Jaina's blushing because I guess Zack Senpai is like saying vaguely nice things to her. Yeah, by the way, he's responsible for children being disemboweled like a week ago. Just want to mention that.
No, that didn't happen. You're trying to gaslight us now. Sorry.
Of course. Yeah.
Do you like how this is setting up the Jaina and Zack romance that Troy Denning was fighting with his life for in Darkness later on?
I can, kind of. I mean, Jaina she's already lobotomized, so you may as well like commit to it.
I mean
could you resist this man? He looks like a culmination of every 1990s like douchebag love interest character.
Kind of. Now that I look at him, probably not. No, I have to be fair. I have to be honest. Yeah. So yeah, Zack will leave to Coruscant. Yeah, I would instead be for proper death via guillotine, but I guess that's not happening. Jaina hopes that so I guess their friend group, will be a part of Zack's future plans. Yeah, you will actually. That's funny. You will be with Zack in a bug orgy and also have a threesome with him. So be happy. Everything's gonna be all right.
You will also somehow end up being related, because Zack will end up marrying one of Tenelkar's cousins.
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh yeah, that's the thing.
You know nothing, you poor soul. Yeah, don't ever.
I wouldn't call it a romance. It's more like a mind control, sex slave kind of thing.
The thing is, they have a threesome together with another guy, though, so it kind of still.
No, it's just
No, the threesome
option.
thing is in Legacy of the Force.
Oh,
In
my
Darkness, it's just flat out orgies.
My bad. I was getting my sexual degeneracy wrong here for a second. So
Yeah.
thank you.
I have this all memorized, and I hate myself for it. But I blame these books.
Yeah, they have an orgy with Killix, Arizona. If you didn't know that.
Jaina does dream about fucking Jack Fell in a Kilix nest later
based
on.
because Jagfell is hot. He's got a cool scar.
Yeah, but Jack Fell shouldn't touch that woman with a like.
He also has a last name, which
That's
is
true.
also pretty cool.
Jagfell does deserve better than Jaina. That is a good point, actually. I didn't think of that.
Yeah, I would hope that the Thule family has like a female heir, and he just marries her because he should marry into the proper Eldoranian family.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Arizona. To this day, you're gonna have adult people on the internet defend to you why it's totally okay for Bucks to have an orgy with the characters that you're supposed to like respect and care about.
As we know, it would also have been totally fine if Vader had raped Leia because he's the bad guy.
Oh, of course, yeah. That's there you go. Yeah. Oh yeah, Zach. Apparently he has a bag with the few belongings that he has. And I kind of wondered where that would be even from. Because wouldn't everything that he ever had be on the Shadow Academy, which was destroyed?
Maybe Peckham brought it.
Yeah, that's possible. Fair.
What's in it? His shitty suit?
Maybe.
It's so embarrassing.
What's in there? A bouquet for lunch?
A bouquet.
Don't forget this running gag.
Never.
Because it's so amazing.
It's crazy. We had a dark side arc. Yeah, perfect. Although Waluigi is much more of a chat than Zach could ever dream of being. But yeah, we have a fall to the dark side because of a bouquet. I will never not laugh about this stupid shit.
He thought he was eating a salad. Don't blame the man.
It's so fucking stupid. I can't believe this. Oh man. Yeah. There you go. High literature, everyone.
Imagine if it was made out of plastic.
Like he just committed to it.
Yeah.
You gotta commit to the bit, and then Leia gets in.
I mean, he's a fucking street bum. I doubt he would know what salad actually tastes like anyway.
Of course, yeah. How would he? Yeah. Peckham gifts Zack his ship, the lightning penis, and he tells him how he was offered a job by Leia. Yeah, I'm sure. Oh yeah, I think he was offered a job by Leia, but he refused it or something like back in the day. And it was like, yeah, I'm sure that would have paid nicely, but it's good that you subjected Zack to a life of wading through shit, literally, instead of just doing that. But yeah, there you go. I guess he didn't want to give up his ship or something. I don't know. Yeah. Oh, Peckham. He says, "quote You never could fool me, Zack. You and the ship. You're the best friends I ever had."
That's kind of sad, man.
That's really. Yeah, I love that Peckham is like telling him.
It would make more sense for him to say like, "You're like the son I never had."
Yeah, that would. I mean, it still would be an unearned thing, but I would be like, okay, yeah, there was an attempt here. Especially after Peckham like vividly described how much the lightning rod was a piece of junk as a ship, and that Zack would do him a favor if he took it. There's some form of pleasing parallelism to it, but yeah, and yeah, then Zack goes. And I said, yeah, this is the product of somebody watching Return of the Jedi and getting all the wrong conclusions from it. Like, yeah, he is redeemed now.
It's done. Yeah, it's over.
It's over. That's it. Chapter 7. Oh yeah, so the scaffold, it's there again, but it's shaking because of the wind. I mean, I can't imagine why. It's made out of twigs, so I do love that the New Republic, by the way, entrusted the lives of their precious workers to a teenager with a crush on a guy who just like kind of participated in the slaughter of children and who's building scaffolds out of twigs. But there you go. Terrell, she gets a ship. And now her grandma hopes, quote, she might even accept an arm prosthesis. Wow, Tarchum is really a bitch, am I right? Wow.
Don't worry. Jason's gonna fry her brain a few books later.
I don't mind that. Oh yeah, quote. Because I think Jaina is also repeatedly trying to justify to Leia and Han that she should have a ship.
Yeah, she's really jealous right now.
Yeah.
She's a bitch.
But isn't this relatable? Guys,
yeah, of course.
This is just like teenagers wanting their own car. This is so relatable.
Of course. And by the way, she's trying to give reasoning for why they should have ships. Her reasoning is, quote, if Jason and her were old enough to play around with lightsabers, weren't they able to have a small spaceship? Well, first of all, no. Actually, you shouldn't be able to use a lightsaber because you're kind of mentally unhinged. How about you ask the ginger stumpy that you call a friend why you shouldn't play around with lightsabers?
But also, remember how your Uncle Luke told you I shouldn't, like this is early. This is way too early, but I have to train you with lightsabers because
I have to poorly train you. We got to speed it up, otherwise, something dark side. So,
and that's over now. So, but yeah, there you go. And yeah, but what kind of argument is that? Because Leia, she considered it, but then she said they were gonna get one when they were if they turned 16. Yeah, I mean, look, a lightsaber and deadly armed aircraft. I mean, it's basically the same thing if you think about it. So,
and if you think about it, in the Young Jedi Knights books,
they did face off unknowingly. That's true. I have to say, I remember that scene from one of the previous books.
Book 2.
Yeah. And yeah, another quote. Yeah. So Han is giving her parts of a ship instead of just a real ship, and she says, quote, Jaina assumed that Han giving her ship parts was a compromise or an apology. Like, do I now have to actually believe that Han is such a doofus of a father that he would actually let his kids fly like interstellar ships around if only Leia didn't oppose it? Which he kind of basically said that.
I bet he would, honestly.
Yeah, he said like, hey, if only I was making the rules. Like, so, I mean, then again, this is the guy who ditched his children for Kipteron, the son he never had, as we all know.
Mm-hmm.
So what exactly did I expect?
I like that. By the way, I like that the compromise is I'm not gonna buy you a car. I'm gonna give you a tire.
Yeah, play with that. I mean, such a retard as Jaina is, she kind of deserves that. Here, have a tire. Play with it. I don't know. Figure it out. Yeah, and yeah, but Tanelka wants Jason and herself, to take care of communications, the weapons. So I guess she's getting an actual armed starship. There you go. And navigation, while Loie and Jaina are the pilots and the mechanics. And Jaina is, quote, sure her mom and dad would have nothing against such an arrangement, since they'd only occasionally help their friends. And like, Jaina, are you seriously that dumb? Like, no, if your parents don't want to gift you warships, that doesn't mean that you're allowed to fly other warships of other people. That's, like back as a kid, if you were, your parents were saying like, oh, you're too young for Call of Duty. If you went to a friend's place and you played Call of Duty there, and your parents found out, that wasn't suddenly okay because you weren't given the game, right? So like, and that's kind of the continuation of that. But oh well. Yeah. But there you go. And yeah, the name of the ship is Rock Dragon. And I have to say, it's a fitting name. I really like it. It sounds exactly as primitive and unimpressive as both Hapes and Dathomir are. So it's truly the perfect match for Tanelka. Yeah, and that's it. Chapter 8. another quote. He wouldn't go to those worlds where Brekkus and the Shadow Academy made him into a tool for the battle for the Second Imperium. Zack, you were always a tool. You just made a choice. So there you go. Oh, and he goes to a wonderful place. It's called Nth. It's a horrible and decrepit planet. It's destroyed by a volcano periodically every 8 years, only to then be rebuilt afterwards. So the entire population evacuates the planet every 8 years. They and they build like their planet from scratch again, only to repeat that cycle. Jesus Christ, please just go. Like, everybody who died there, which includes, Crybaby, as I called Zack, his parents, who died there to save furniture and crops. That's what Zack's parents died for, by the way. For
Try to save the bouquet.
They were trying to save
They're getting lunch.
No, wait, Zack, you forgot your bouquet. I made you a lunch packet. Yeah, everyone who dies there is an idiot, and they deserve death for being so stupid. And it's not like it's surprising. Like this is a well documented and like
They know to the
plannable-
day that basically.
Yeah, like this is it's time for death again. We should go now. Just go. Quote.
By the way,
yeah.
isn't
Yep.
that Zack's storyline in this that he leaves for his planet? So he's basically doing the Poochie thing. I have to go now. My planet needs me.
Yeah. But then he leaves the planet again anyway, so
He
Yeah,
didn't
also-
die on his way to his home planet, unfortunately.
Sadly.
it's very sadly, yeah. Oh yeah, another thing. Quote: Peckham always treated him with affection and respect. I mean, he refused a secure government position to instead barely survive and live from paycheck to paycheck. So that's not true. But there you go. And yeah, Zack now returns to Nth just in time for the next evacuation to happen, to play Good Samaritan there. Yeah, maybe he'll accuse these people of ruining his life as well, and taking his Jedi status away from him. I don't know. Chapter 9. Oh yeah, Jason is supposed to take a beast. Oh yeah, so in the Transformator, I guess that's like a ship part that Jaina was given or something. Or no, was it in the Rock Dragon? I forgot. But yeah, there's a beast inside there, and Reyna asks whether it's not like it isn't dangerous that he's trying to do that because it could be venomous. And Jason kind of
Fucking
doesn't-
idiot. What an
He's a-
asshole.
Yeah, like oh my god, like since when are animals ever like? Are there animals that are venomous? I don't know of any. Why would he even suggest that? That's so disrespectful of him to ask that.
Just assuming animals, like wild animals, are dangerous.
Yeah,
Kind of gross, actually. Like,
crazy thought. Oh yeah, we got another Jason joke. That one was actually so stupid that I had to write it down. And I don't know if I just translated that one from German to English or if I actually looked into the English version. But the joke is, what is the difference between a rancor? I think one leg is as long as the other one. And
Oh yeah,
I
that classic.
just accept.
oh, I didn't write this one down. That's so sad. I'm glad you did.
Yeah, I don't even know
I
what
just
this means.
glossed
To be
over it.
honest. Maybe I'm just too stupid. I could be, but I have no clue what this means, and I don't care. Yeah.
To answer Rosinos' comments, didn't Han sexually assault a teenager when he was 27? You're thinking of Indiana Jones.
Ah, yeah.
But Han did fuck Leia when she was 19 and he was 29. 29, I think, in New Hope.
Yeah.
And then
And
obviously
in
Ford
real
also
life.
fucked Fisher. Yeah.
So there you go. Yeah. So Jason gets the animal. He climbs down the scaffold, and he's about to go lower on the scaffold, but then Reyna tells everyone that Han is returning, and him telling everybody that makes Jason lose focus, and he falls down, but then he lands on some air cushion, and that's the scene. And I was like, I don't even know what the purpose of this was.
Okay, I got it. I got the joke. It's how do you tell the difference between a rancor?
I wouldn't know.
And then it's, I believe that one of its legs are both the same.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't get that one. Maybe that's why I didn't write it down. I just didn't really.
Oh, don't you know that
didn't
joke?
register that it was a joke?
Don't you know that joke is originally with a duck? What's the difference between
Yes.
a duck?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the one.
But why would it be a rancor?
I don't know.
Tanelka, I
Okay.
guess.
I feel like there are better rancor jokes you could come up with.
Probably, but
one
it's
later
Jason.
on, but
Yeah, and then Reyna, he even apologizes, even though it isn't his fault that he fell down because he's a nice guy. And
More
yeah,
like a
Jason.
sim.
Yeah, what an ass. And yeah, Jason, he feels awkward because Tanelka-chan saw him fall down, which I guess is a no-no for him. I don't know. I cannot see where. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what he's like in NJO, but if he is not in any way like the character I know him as so far, I'll be happy. And as we'll find out, his supposed genuine, deep romantic relationship with Tanelka is also kind of bullshit. But stay tuned for the following streams to find out more about that.
But fuck Danny Quee.
Yeah.
Right? Am I right?
Of course, Danny Quee, stupid
fucking
bitch. How dare
whore
she?
ass bitch.
How dare she be interested in a man who has no girlfriend? Coral isn't a carelessly retard. Yes, he is. He's a stupid fucking bitch. Did he?
Oh yeah, his wife, and who was the other one? The editor?
Maybe.
If you can't come up with juvenile jokes that don't make sense, why don't you just not write them? It's okay, actually.
It doesn't need to be here.
Nope. I haven't read NJO yet. I'm very, very close to starting it, but I have not so far read NJO. No.
I have.
Yeah. So both of the other guys, Pico and Noah, of course, both have read it, but I have not. Chapter 10. Anakin has kind of a fantastic idea. He thinks of the temple as a puzzle that's got to be pieced together again. What a genius! Who could have thought about that?
That's why he's smarter than most of the others.
That's fair.
He's the
like
only one that can see that.
like, hey,
When you take apart a building, you can put it back if you put all the pieces the same way.
Anakin is like blowing everyone's minds, and it's just telling that this is the extent of it in Young Jedi Knights. Like, hey, you can like build things. He does. Oh, yeah. I have the Young Jedi Knights books are, I think, stored away in some box in my
Garage, attic.
not garage, but yeah, like in a somewhere behind me here in my room, and I'm not gonna. I'm never taking these Young Jedi Knights books in my hand ever again, unless it's to store them away in a shelf or to send them into a package and like sell them on eBay. Yeah, pretty much. Quote, oh yeah, since Zach's departure, everything seemed a lot more grim. Jaina, you have Stockholm Syndrome and you need help. I'm sorry.
But he's a bad boy and she can fix him.
True. As she's gonna try and prove in both Darkness and Legacy of the Force. Yeah, oh yeah. Anakin is even the one who made the plan for this puzzle thing that he thought up with. Yeah, the New Republic is doomed if you haven't caught on to it yet. Like a 12-year-old or like a 13-year-old kid is planning on rebuilding like the most important building.
I'm glad, his Jedi training is taking good shape, learning
Exactly,
like architecture and stuff. Very important.
Very, very important. I mean, that is going to be his day.
Especially because their temple is going to get completely destroyed 1 year later anyway.
Oh, that's
I
so
think it's
great.
2 years later.
Okay, yeah.
I can't wait for that. Oh yeah, Leia herself is hellbent on actually repairing the Massassi temple because it's a symbol of fighting the Imperials. Even though the Massassi themselves weren't nice people.
It's a Sith temple.
It's literally a Sith temple.
Like, imagine if
That's some cultural appropriation if I've ever seen it.
Like, imagine a bunch of crusaders hid away in like a satanic temple, and that got destroyed, and then the Pope said, "Yeah, let's repair it exactly the same way because we hid there when we were planning an attack." You're kind of not understanding, I think, the history of these people. So yeah. But yeah, and of course she doesn't want to see stuff like Alderaan.
Where else could they possibly build a Jedi temple?
I mean,
later on, a couple decades later, they will build 2 Jedi temples on Coruscant.
To be honest, Coruscant is a better planet than Yavin 4. I mean, it shouldn't be ideally, but it kind of turned out to be that way because they are really stupid.
Wait, hold on. The Union takes place before this.
Yes.
Didn't they already have like a training temple in Union on Coruscant?
I think so, yeah. I think.
Awesome.
Yep.
But Union came out afterwards, so
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
They could have just like moved to Ossus at this point, but
Yeah, Ossus is a better option.
It should have been there originally, but whatever. That's
because it's actually also a place that nobody knows instead of
and already a Jedi library. It's like perfect. It's like everything they want.
It has like actual historical value for the Jedi Order, and it has like the Isana people.
Oh well.
Great uniter of the comics and books, by the way.
I mean, you would have to have like worked together with Tom Veitch, and as we know, Kevin Janison, of course, didn't do that. So how could he possibly know about Ossus? Yeah, like the most secure planet in the entire galaxy for like centuries at this point. Why would you place a Jedi temple there? That's so stupid. Okay. Yeah, so the kids, they are allowed to go to Alderaan to get their mom a piece for a talisman under the condition that Han and Chewie check out the rock dragon before they fly, and they return in 3 days. How about a counter offer? I want to be productive here. I want to do a counter offer. How about no? They were forbidden from flying, and going with their classmate seems to kind of miss the point of that law. But hey, how smart to let your kids fly alone? What could possibly go wrong?
Let them fly to Chernobyl.
Of course, yeah. Let them fly right into the
into the reactor.
Yeah, like let's just walk into the reactor and pick up a piece of like green glowing rocks or something.
I like that Kevin thinks this plot, like this is emotional and hard hitting, that they are gonna get a piece of Alderaan's core to gift their mother for her birthday.
But don't you remember that scene in that movie where Alderaan got destroyed?
I do remember that.
Yeah, so there you go. And yeah, as we said, I love how nobody notices that Leia having a birthday, of course, means that Luke has his birthday as well.
But he's also their teacher, so who cares?
Of course, yeah.
What is he? Just their uncle?
Like that's cringe.
Chapter 11. So fun. Luke doesn't get to. I don't think Luke ever gets to celebrate his birthday. Yeah. I mean, in this one, his wife is arrested. His students go into Chernobyl unprotected.
Mm-hmm.
And his school is destroyed. He has to rely on a 12-year-old to rebuild it.
To come up with the idea that if we just use the same rocks and rebuild them in the way that they were built before, we can actually build the temple again. Chapter 11, quote, "Out here, the bones of dead Alderaanians were floating around too, crushed to dust."
I doubt that, actually.
Actually, yeah, physically I doubt that, but that's Jaina's trailer thought. So I was like, what's wrong with her, actually? Like, is that a normal thing to think about as a 14, 15-year-old girl? Even if you're going...
Liv, if you're still here, please answer this one.
Exactly, Liv. You're famously underage, so is that a normal thing to think about? Because I don't think it is. But, it's just me. I guess I'm not all caught up on that. People complain about the Khan and New Republic dissolving the military, but the US Navy never got their shit for 20 years. Yeah, like, what good is the existence of a Navy if it's never used in a
Remember in the
logical
Corellian trilogy when Akbar was like, we can't use our Navy. I put it in the docks to
Yeah.
relax, so we have to rely on the Bakura people.
Like, does anybody ever put everything they have to get repaired at the same time? Don't you have, like, substitutes for exactly that purpose, so something is active while the other things are in the docks to get repaired? Jesus Christ, they're so
Okay.
amateurish.
Okay, Rosinos, on this point, Luke wouldn't know his birthday, would he? It's kind of a clusterfuck, I guess. The only justification I can see for them celebrating Leia's birthday in this one, it's also retarded, but
Yeah.
let's just say Bale and his wife told her just a random date is her birthday, but it still equates to her being like 19 and knowing her, like, her years, but it's not like the specific date. Same for Luke, which, again, that's also stupid, but it's like the only thing that would make sense.
Luke has a twin sister.
Yes, but I'm just meaning, like, what if Owen and Beru also told him a random date in the same year, but like a random date for some reason?
So they just kept on celebrating that on those
days. Yeah, exactly.
days.
And same with Leia, which is why even though they are twins and born on the same day, they would celebrate on different days. It's stupid, and there isn't any reason for both of their parents to do that. But I guess if you want to fix it, that's the only way to do it.
Yeah. But the thing is, I mean, Luke can reasonably assume that Leia's gonna have the exact date. I mean,
yes.
Of course, after the prequels, we both know because they were given to their new parents literally the day that we were born, or like a day afterwards. So there's no way nowadays they wouldn't know. But even back in the day, like,
why would Owen and Beru not tell Luke his birthday, but he gets to keep the name Skywalker?
Exactly. I mean, that doesn't even seem to be in character for either of them. So, but yeah. No, she's 14.
Yeah, she's a 14-year-old boy, and she's also a Fed.
Yeah, exactly.
She may also be Brennan.
She may. Okay. Oh yeah, Jaina assumes that Leia, after the destruction, never went back to Alderaan because it probably would be too painful.
I'm pretty sure Leia did.
Yeah, first of all, that. Second of all, what would even be the purpose of going there to see empty space? And third of all, if you think that it would be too painful for Leia to go to Alderaan, why are you now going out on a quest to bring Alderaan to Leia? Isn't that kind of
we're just gonna take Alderaan and push it somewhere else?
Imagine Anakin also came up with the idea, hey, if we puzzle together Alderaan, we can just rebuild the planet.
Yeah, we can build this asteroid field back together like Legos.
And we have the stupid we used to have the what's it called from Corellian trilogy? We can put it into maybe
the center point station. They're using the center point station.
We could literally push
Alderaan somewhere else. Yes.
They can literally take Alderaan and push it somewhere else.
Oh my god, we're gonna push it in the orbit over Coruscant, so Leia every day she can see Alderaan in the sky. It's like a constant reminder of her dead homeworld.
They could maybe have some
It's like if your kids, like, for your birthday, they move the graveyard where your parents are buried right next to your house.
They could maybe they could like remote connect the center point station to like Leia's ship that she always uses, so she always pulls all of Alderaan with her, so she's constantly reminded of her failure.
This is your fault, by the way. Congratulations.
This is on you, stupid bitch. Why did you get caught?
You did this.
Yeah, exactly. Why not? I mean, isn't that the perfect idea? I think it is.
This is what happens when you don't think about what you're writing.
Yeah, it kind of leaves a lot of logical gaps.
This is
in
like,
your book.
Oh my god! Imagine for Luke's birthday, they're gonna travel to Tatooine and they're gonna dig up Owen and Beru's corpse.
Like they just put the bone.
Here's a lucky bone.
Yeah, here.
They just take out like a gold filling.
Exactly. Yeah. That's your fault, man. Fuck you.
That's also on you.
You know, you didn't have to leave that day. You could have stayed back.
Exactly. Nothing would have ever happened. Yeah. Yeah, so they're in the space where Alderaan used to be, and there is a force echo from all the dead people still kind of lingering on that can be felt there in Alderaan. So it's how nice of them to literally bring that echo back to Leia.
She's trying to sleep and then just
She just, Leia, you could have saved us. Yeah, and remember that scene from Empire Strikes Back where it was very very dangerous for Han to fly into an asteroid field? Yeah, they can just kind of do that now.
never tell them the odds. Okay.
Yeah, I mean they're not told the odds, so it works perfectly. Yeah, but Jaina, she loses concentration like once and almost flies into an asteroid. So there you go. Oh yeah, when asked if she even knows where she's flying towards, Jaina just laughs and says this is fun. Which I'm not sure quite how to interpret that, but make of that whatever you will. Yeah, and so they actually find a piece of the core of Alderaan full of like valuable metals and whatnot. I guess it's lucky that nobody ever picked it up, considering it was widespread knowledge that Alderaan is dead. And there are parts of the planet still floating around.
Oh, by the way, that's also confirmed in the EU. There were like grave robbers going to Alderaan finding.
Yeah, because that would make sense.
Yeah.
I mean, wasn't there? I don't remember from which book this was, but wasn't there even the ship full of the Alderaanian weapons that they gave up? And
yeah, that wasn't something.
I don't. In the Bantam era somewhere. I don't remember where it was. It might have been X-Wing. I'm not sure, but that was a thing that happened as well. So of course people were there to
Back to war, apparently, according to Resident knows.
Recently read that book. Yeah, it might have been in Back to War. Yeah. The Rogue Squadron probably took that because they were on their own without the New Republic officially. So that makes sense.
That's why they did so well, because they didn't have the New Republic backing them.
Speaking of Rogue Squadron, remember how Tycho Selchuk's backstory? How his entire family got pulverized while he was on the phone with them?
Yes.
Yeah.
I bet that was a fun birthday for him.
Imagine they like for his birthday they also just say, "Oh yeah, let's also fly to Alderaan again." And
we're gonna make this a present for every surviving Alderaanian. We're gonna give him a piece of Alderaan.
Maybe that's why Borden left.
Yeah, you know what? There's a good argument for that. Yeah, so there you go. Chapter 12. Yeah, so the population of Nth, they apparently keep trying to just gaslight themselves into positivity. They call their settlements New, Newer, Newest, and another Hopetown. So we have New Hopetown, Newer Hopetown, Newest Hopetown, and another Hopetown. Every single one of these people deserve to die, by the way.
New Hopetown, by the way.
Do you guys remember Star Wars A New Hope?
I didn't even...
What, you didn't? You didn't figure it out?
I actually didn't know. I barely paid attention. Jesus Christ. Oh my god.
I can't wait for the new settlement, the Empire Strikes Back town.
The Empire
Return of the Jedi town.
Oh my god. Yeah. So yeah, they're evacuating, and I love how the ships that they're using to evacuate are hopelessly overloaded. Like you couldn't possibly
New Hopelessly.
No Hopelessly.
That would be a better town name. New Hopeless.
That would be great. Yeah, I mean, obviously you couldn't possibly plan ahead such a catastrophe. I mean, although they know exactly when the volcano goes off.
It's not like it happens exactly every 8 years or something.
Yeah. Holiday special town. Oh yeah,
the Caravan of Courage town.
The Last Jedi town. Yeah, and then so Zach goes to the planet, and then quote, "Suddenly the Earth tremored like a great dragon moved beneath the surface." I don't know how Zack would even know what a Krayt dragon is.
Oh, probably when he was training with the Shadow Academy, right? Because he went off on murdering sprees, like he killed a bunch of Jawas.
Yeah. Can we imagine that the Shadow Academy actually took a Krayt dragon onto their ship? I could, kind of.
Well, I just assumed that they actually went to Tatooine for no reason, but that's possible too.
Yeah, because I think I remember they just had all these enemies in their ship. I think that was it, like Minox, Tusken Raiders,
Piranha beetles for some reason.
Piranha Beetle. I hate this stupid fucking book. Yeah. Oh yeah. So they in that catastrophe now they lost 100 settlers because quote they just wanted to get their last supplies. They lost up to 20% of their supplies and 2 supply ships in newest coast town, which is also something. Yeah, they are all retarded, kind of. Oh yeah, and that girl that greeted Zack when he arrived, she was called Shinnon, I think, and she died because she wanted to get quote some last things from their home. There, meaning her and her boyfriends. And that's so hilarious. It's so stupid. But yeah, hey, and they actually have people who are quote skilled at removing debris quickly. So good on them.
It was she was trying to get the plans for rebuilding their house after the disaster. That's what it was. I have it written down.
I mean, yeah, that's
Which
really
is even stupider.
Yeah, that's really unimportant, right? Of course, you would leave that until the last moment. And yeah, I love how Rastur, so her boyfriend, clearly doesn't stop her from going there and just seems to give no fuck. Yeah, their sex life must have been disappointing because he didn't give a shit. Oh, chapter 13. Yeah, so they find the stupid rock thing, and yeah, the teenagers are now going out in spacesuits all on their own, which is a great idea. Thanks. At this point, I was like, reading Kevin J. Anderson has kind of made me understand Saddam Hussein. That's just me, though.
Maybe he has a point.
Maybe he had a point, but who am I to judge? Yeah, and you remember that movie you used to watch, and there was this penis worm that hid in an asteroid. I guess that worm had a kid because that baby is literally here, and it almost eats Jason. And yeah, these worms apparently eat metal.
Does Kevin make a point that this is actually the baby of the worm from Empire Strikes Back? Because
I know it's just a baby version of the worm from Empire. It does actually say this is like that one that our parents fought.
Oh god. These worms, this reference bringing back these worms has been done awesome once in the KOTOR comics.
Yes, it did.
Yeah, and these things, the only way they survive is by eating metal. And the thing is, if you just never tell us how this worm can live in this asteroid, we can just have plausible deniability. But now you start to specify, like, how the hell can they survive off of fucking metal? But oh well.
No. He just mentioned the Empire Strikes Back worm in reference to the fact that there's another worm right here.
Yeah, so there is a baby version of that worm that you remember from Empire.
It could be the actual baby. I wouldn't put it past him, but
he brought back the Wampa from Empire Strikes Back. So
yeah, it was the literal Wampa from the movie. So it's not like it's less insane to believe that that's the case than it not being the case. Yeah, and then they take the piece of metal. They immediately come back to Yavin.
Metalloid.
I don't even know how exactly they're communicating because, as we know, Yavin 4 has no outside communication. So that's kind of a weird retcon there, kind of disrespectful. And yeah, then they leave, quote, before something goes horribly wrong. What could that possibly mean? Who knows? Chapter 14. And oh man, whoever could have seen this coming? The virtually helpless and unguarded kids get attacked. Crazy.
Something horrible went wrong. I am shocked.
Yeah, I mean, enemies back in the day, they used to listen to their communication. So how could that have possibly happened now? There's no reason. And yeah, the thing is, Bugslut, she didn't expect to even get attacked because that never happens, of course.
I guess
So she
we've hit the brain rot portion of your notes.
At that point, I was already like, oh yeah, I even called the House Organa House Habsburg. So I was like in proper brain rot mode at this point. But
and the Thals
yeah,
haven't even shown up to show you how right you were.
yeah, I mean, we need to work on the Habsburg chin, but I'm sure we can get that in a few generations. I mean, Anakin was trying to go for that already, right? By, I don't know, making some weird stuff with Mara or something. Okay. Yeah, she hasn't even studied the weapon systems of the stupid ship that she's on, which is kind of weird. Yeah. And although she's not blood related to the Habsburg Organas, you can tell that she's in the spirit, like, because she's stupid. So that's good. And yeah, then they fly into a cave in an asteroid. It's like in that movie I watched as a kid. I actually assumed that there would be an adult asteroid penis fish, but penis worm, but I guess there wasn't.
I did too, actually.
I just waited for that to happen. I just because I think they also described that the cave was weird in some way. So it's like, oh, it's gonna be another worm, isn't it? Because if there's a baby worm, there's gonna be an adult one somewhere, right? But no, actually there wasn't. True. I mean, he definitely shit on.
Beware the dark side, Jason.
Chapter 15. Yeah, so apparently that Ross tour guy, whatever, he apparently is sad because his girlfriend died. I mean, he seemed kind of fine in the last chapter, and he let her die. And I was like, yeah, I was at this point where I said she must have starfished him throughout their life. Like, the sex must have been shit, man. He didn't care. But yeah, and these idiots are actually like overpaying shady outsiders so they get new goods, like now that they're not on the planet. I mean, please just leave the planet. You can have normal life somewhere else. Like, I get, somehow I get it. You want to defend the place that's yours and whatnot, but this place clearly doesn't want you there. It's not hard to like leave there, to live there. It's every 8 years it's literally impossible to leave there. Just go to live there. Please leave. But no, they're not. Yeah, we have a quote about them. Quote: "Their forced optimism, their persistence, and their blindness for a tragedy, which was avoidable, depressed him without even knowing why." I'd almost agree with Zach here, but I'm actually not depressed, and I clearly know why these people are being the way they are, because they're stupid. But oh well. And yeah, and they are a colony even, so it means that at some point their ancestors left their home to go there, so they could also just do the same, but they're not.
Yeah, after the first time it happened, they would have left if it's a colony. But
yeah, usually you would. But oh well. And yeah, after seeing lava, earthquakes, and death, Zack realizes that a planet with lava, earthquakes, and death is probably not a good place to start a new life. Good on him. Glad he had that arc. He's making character progress, guys. He's working on himself. Yeah. Chapter 16. Yeah. So Bugslut and friends, they get buried beneath rubble when they are found by whoever attacked them in the cave from Empire Strikes Back. But wouldn't you then miss a great character moment for Dala? Wasn't that so meaningful?
Yeah, she destroyed the whole
20 people that lived there.
Yeah. For no reason, actually. I don't know why she did that.
For no real reason, yeah. But yeah. Oh well. Chapter 17. Yeah, so of course, the kids survived that the ceiling of the cave crashed down on them. Because we have to understand, if they wouldn't have survived, the rest of the plot couldn't happen. So, of course, it can't. That can't be the course of action here. And they leave the ship, and the ship is getting remote sliced illegally by their enemy. So, of course, they leave their ship, but without their lightsabers. For some reason. I mean, then they are actually getting attacked right now, so I don't know why they don't take the lightsabers with them. And we get the revelation, who was it who attacked them? It's Boba Fett, because they sent a message. Yeah, I do remember Boba Fett. You know, he has a Mandalorian armor. He's cool because he wears a mask, and all of that.
Yeah, unfortunate. I wish.
I wish, but yeah, the servers are too hostile towards each other now, so we can't have nice things anymore, Alex. Yeah, and he attacked them because they sent a message to Reyna that, quote, their mission was a success, and Boba doesn't believe them, that they're only there to get a present for Leia, and he wants to take them as prisoners because maybe Han knows something about Bornan. But why the fuck would he? Because
he was on that team, right? For the New Republic. They're
yeah,
on.
sure, but if Bornan Thule is just gone, like if Han knew where he was, then he wouldn't be gone anymore, because Han would bring him back
He's
to
probably
the
just like hoping for any lead right now.
I guess so, but
Greatest bounty hunter in the world, by the way.
of course, yeah, he's a real smartass, and yeah, and for sure he wouldn't send. I mean, maybe Boba Fett actually expects that from them, which I guess I don't necessarily think is illogical. But would Han Solo actually send out his kids to collect, like, a guy who's searched by everyone? He might do, actually. It depends on the Bantam author, I guess. Yeah, and what MTD does is, like, Boba, he leaves his ship, and as he leaves his ship, MTD hacks the Slave 4 instead. Because, quote, if he's outside, there's no way he'll notice. Which makes no sense. Like, isn't there usually like a warning, hey, you know, outside interference, something? But no, I guess not. Chapter 18, another quote. Looks like Boba knew your dad, and Bonan sat in the same trade commission. And that's probably public information, so it's not like that's a skill. But yeah, there's kind of stupid logic here that this guy obviously got kidnapped, so let me kidnap Han Solo's kids to ask him where he is, because he clearly will know. Like, no. Yeah, but there you go. I kind of hope for Boba Fett just to crawl back into the sand pussy that he came out of, but he won't.
He got knocked in there twice, you know.
Yeah. I actually didn't know that, or I might have known that and forgot it. But now I feel even less enthusiastic about this stupid guy. Thanks for gonna fuck Dala in the future. That's what it'll fix him, I'm sure. Yeah, so they assume that Boba doesn't know that they can use the Force, which is kind of stupid to think, because everyone knows that they're on Yavin 4 learning about the Force, and Boba Fett knows what the Force is. At least he knows.
He probably knows enough, right?
He'll know enough that he knows that you can push people away with your mind. I guess that he had contact with Darth Vader. He fought Luke Skywalker. Like, somehow he might have picked up on the fact. Especially, I mean, okay, that's prequel logic that he lived during the Clone Wars, but whatever. And yeah, so what Boba does now is he sends a fake distress call to trap Han. And of course, he does that without checking out the kid's ship to see whether they can secretly communicate with him while they're trapped. So, yeah, Jaina wants to repair the old transmitter that Han gifted to her to contact him. fantastic. Oh, Noah, that's for you.
Nope. The only still fiction, but like he wrote novels, short stories, comics. He wrote the illustrated Star Wars universe and the Essential Chronology, but that's it.
There you go. Chapter 19. MTD, he didn't cover his tracks, like his digital tracks, so Boba found out about the hacking.
Why would he not?
Yeah.
If it's something you can just do, then why would he?
Yeah, and MTD is like asking whether he should have done it, so cover his tracks. Yeah, and now the teens might just get murdered, and that's gonna be so funny because it's a young reader's book, didn't you know? And yeah, Crybaby. So Zach, he saves them because Boba takes too much time killing them, and then he's there.
Yeah, suddenly Zach's there. He's just there.
Yeah,
he teleports from Nth to Alderaan, I guess.
Because I guess that's in the same quadrant or something. Who knows? But yeah, and now of course I'm really impressed by Boba Fett as a villain because he got defeated by Zach in a starship. Okay, and yeah, of course, yeah, very lucky that he showed up. Chapter 20. Crybaby, he's gone on an arc now. He wants to become a bounty hunter because his only direction is forward. I do love how that has nothing to do with anything that happened so far. But sure. And he even wants to become the best bounty hunter there is. Yeah, and he says, quote, "I have friends," and no, you don't. Nobody likes you, and you wish to murder them and their entire family because you ate bouquets. So please don't even. And chapter 21. Yeah, Jaina and her brother, they look forward to being child workers again, so to prepare the temple. Anakin is a sweet kid as usual. He's building Leia a mini Prixium from the small rubble that's like too small to be used for the reconstruction. Leia, of course, when Jaina and Jason bring her the metal, she just immediately knows that it's from Alderaan. I guess she's hearing the voices of the dead people crying out for her as she doomed all of them. Maybe that gave it away. I don't know. The kids have the decency at least to kind of feel bad about being annoying shitheads to Reyna. And yet, indeed, everyone has forgotten that Luke, who is present, also has his birthday now. But he's only their uncle or the twin brother or their brother-in-law and best friend. How would they possibly know? And yeah, it's also great that Luke can't spend his birthday with his wife. Really fantastic. And that was it. And I gave this book a 0.1 out of 10 because it was pure and utter garbage.
I didn't even give it a score.
Yeah, that's fair enough as well.
I just don't get it.
There is nothing to rate here. Like it's like an epilogue that you'd write in the course of like 30 pages maybe. But it's just extended to like 180 pages or something for no apparent reason. Other than, hey, you have 14 books to write, so write this book now. He didn't need to write shit, but he did. For some reason. Oh well. Noah, do you remember anything about this book that you even want to say? I don't think you do. But
Shards of Alderaan? No. I literally don't. Yeah.
I understand.
I think it's probably the least memorable book in the series.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think so. Because, I mean, the Diversity Alliance arc has started, and there's been, like, vague references of Nola Tarkona existing. So that doesn't really fit.
The only Diversity Alliance stuff here is Nola exists and Bornin is kidnapped.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Which you get from the next book anyway.
Yeah. It's interesting, right? Because it's two retards fighting over a stupid vision about a character that really shouldn't have existed for decades at this point. So that's kind of funny. Yeah, and that's it. That's book one.
Seeing what they actually have done with Boba Fett, like, really strengthens my opinion of Boba Fett should never have come out of Sarlacc pit. He should
Yeah,
have stayed
the
dead.
Sarlacc pit should have been Zend.
Because there's been nothing interesting.
Nope.
I haven't read Last Man Standing. Sorry, Josh. I will at some point. That'll probably be the only thing.
Might be. I think the Boba Fett and Han Solo parts were my favorite parts of Dark Empire, unironically, even though I think fans of Dark Empire consider it the worst part of it. But yeah, that's it really. Boba Fett hasn't been interesting and God knows how long.
He has some shitty comics that came out around that time too. That's nice.
Jesus. All right.
I'm not gonna like Bounty Hunter Wars.
Nope. I don't see that being in the cards, but oh well. Who cares about that even? And yeah, there you go. That was book one. So let's just grind ahead. We get to talk about book two.
Whoa.
Diversity.
Hey, there's our boy right there on the
He is here suffering silently.
He looks like my older brother in the 90s with like the fat face and that haircut.
That haircut looks like I don't know.
Listens to a lot of Green Day.
Green Day. Probably some Linkin Park in there as well. Yeah.
Is that supposed to be a female Wookiee? Is that Raba?
Yeah, it's
Raba.
That's Raba.
No, I think that isn't that Lobaka?
No, Lobaka has the black slash at the top.
The one here in the back.
Oh my god, he looks fucking terrible.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. Don't you recognize the red Che Guevara?
The iconic red bandana.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, the cover.
Is she supposed to look feminine because her arms are so thin? Like,
I guess.
It looks
I
like she doesn't have fur.
Yeah, she has shaved arms at the top. What the fuck?
That looks fucking disgusting.
Is that like shaved arms? Is that like a side?
Oh my god! Have you seen that? Have you seen that meme picture of like shaved Chewbacca? It looks cursed.
Yes,
that's what this looks like.
Unfortunately,
I have not, and I don't think I want to.
Pico, send it to him.
But yeah, we have Jaina, we have Reyna, Jaina and Reyna. Jesus, okay, I only recognize that now. We have Loey, we have Jason, we have stupid cunt. I don't actually know what this is.
An ice castle?
It looks like one, but I don't remember an ice planet. I mean, there might have been one, and I just forgot about it because why would I remember anything about this? But oh well. The cover is nothing. Diversity Alliance. The title. I mean, yeah, the Diversity Alliance is in this book. So yeah. Wait, the book. It's in German. The book is called. Oh yeah, Alliance of the Forgotten. So the translation of Diversity Alliance. Yeah, I saw the hairless Chewbacca now, and I want to kill myself. Thank you for that.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Mm-hmm.
I should have spoiled it so you don't have to see it every time you open. I'll do that now.
Yeah. Alliance of the Forgotten. Oh well. There you go. Nothing really to add to that.
They're forgotten.
They were indeed forgotten, although they could at any point speak to somebody and not be forgotten. But oh well. Let's just continue. Chapter 1. So yeah, we get introduced to the Thule family, or the Tool family, which used what?
It is Thule. You had it right.
Tool. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so I always mix up because in German it's Tool, yeah. And yeah, they used what remaining resources they had after the destruction of Alderaan to build a trading empire. And we even meet Reyna's mom, Aaron, and his uncle Tycho, who seem to be pretty sweet, honest, and hardworking and family-oriented people, which is a clear contrast to the Organa solos. So, well portrayed. It gives us this variety that we really want, of course. Yeah, and they think that Luke can keep Reyna safe, which of course is an L. But Aaron thinks that he's safer with her, which is correct. So she will ask Reyna and Luke to join the fleet, like to keep Reyna safe while Born is out there and not to be found. Jason, he's out somewhere in the jungle on Yavin 4, and so is Reyna, which surprises him because he likes to stay in, quote, civilized places. And I'm like, there's no reason for the quotation marks. It's just true. Like, walking around in a jungle full of predators is actually kind of uncivilized. But there you go. And yeah, Jason, it's actually good that Jason wants to offer Reyna like help, though he's aware that he probably can't really help him a lot with the situation that he's in right now. And yeah, that's when Luke announces that he'll take Reyna to the Thule fleet with him in the Shadow Chaser. And yeah, the kids follow in the Rock Dragon, which is stupid because the ship is stupid, but it's really good that they actually all want to help him and to be like good friends to him for once in their life. And to like be there to practice with him as well.
It only took his dad being kidnapped for them to realize that they're fucking assholes.
Him almost dying twice in the span of like a few days. Yeah, I mean, they came around, so there you go. He deserves none of their scorn. So this is a much needed step in the right direction. Chapter 2. Yeah, so chapter 2, there's a quote, Twi'leks are so the only beings capable of reason on Ryloth. I'm like, let's not jump the gun here. Aliens in Star Wars, they have a pretty bad track record when it comes to being logical. So I was like, yeah, let's take it slow.
Yeah, the Empire had a point.
Yeah, and Thraken had a point. He always had one. Both of them kind of should actually run the galaxy, but we're here now, so what can we do? And yeah, there's going to be another story about human supremacy and alien subjugation. Yeah, and they're like, oh, we never get, like, we got forgotten. Nobody cares about us. I'm like, you get a private audience with Leia, basically, if you just ask enough, because that's what she does.
Because she's the only senator in the New Republic, so she does everything.
Exactly. Because everybody else are spies, so it makes sense. And yeah, then we get introduced to Vladimir Ilyich Lenin, also known as Nola Tarkona or Turkana, whatever. And
now's the perfect time to swap back to the Lenin.
Exactly.
Give me a second. Okay, she's drawn on the cover to look like Hitler.
Yeah, they didn't. They should have.
It wasn't very subtle.
Yeah. Oh man, and yeah, so she's recruiting aliens for her cause, and what she does is she's able to recruit Bith musicians into her ranks, just like these Bith musicians that I remember from that movie I watched. And what they can do for them is to play patriotic songs for them.
Is it literally the same band?
No, that band shows up later.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Figrin Dan and his crew, they wouldn't sink to that level.
Yeah. And yeah, they get recruited to play patriotic songs for them. And I'm like, first of all, patriotism for whom even? Like, you're all different species from different places. I guess they're planning the international or something. But yeah, there you go. And they have also recruited Bartok killers, and they have a hive mind. And that led me to believe, yeah, KJA truly was always just the harbinger of Troy. Like, we just never knew it until he came to the scene. And yeah, but they only recruit one subspecies, but if they kill the leaders of the other subspecies, they can unify everyone into one big hive mind. Which, I'm sorry, I'm lost. That makes no sense to me. And I'm like, why didn't anybody ever do that if that's so easily known? But whatever. Yeah, Lenin, she keeps sharpening her fangs, which seems to induce a feeling of arousal in her. So there you go.
That sharpening your teeth into fangs like ruins your teeth. By the way, don't do that.
Yeah, it's really, really fucking disgusting and probably painful and really a bad idea. We're not predators. Like, if you don't have fangs, there's probably a reason for that. And yeah, Lenin, she has spies who observed how Boba fought Bugslut and the others, which I'm not even gonna try and reason how that's supposed. Like, where, like, were they hiding in the asteroids that they somehow knew Boba Fett was gonna appear in? I guess.
Maybe they had a telescope.
Perhaps. I mean, fair enough. Yeah, but of course, spies. Everyone has spies everywhere all the time.
Oh my god, one of the young Jedi Knights was a spy.
True. There you go. Yeah, and then we have this very weird interaction where Lenny, like, Nola, she wonders if Boba himself is a woman because she heard about that story how Leia once snuck into Jabba's palace as Boosh. It's like that scene from that movie I watched as a kid.
Boba Fett didn't want to rape you, so he must actually be a woman under that mask.
True. I'm like, I don't even know.
Perfectly reasonable conclusion.
I don't even know why she would know that, because the only possible eyewitness that would speak to her
Imagine instead she's like, maybe you are gay.
Are you gay? Like, you didn't rape Princess Leia, stupid idiot.
When you had the chance?
Yeah, she was right there, looking like a snack. Come on.
Yeah, man. She was just waiting for it.
That would have been a much better retcon. Instead of Boba's daughter, it's like another clone of Jango Fett who's gay. And that's the twist.
Exactly. It's Boba. Yeah. I'm like, how she would even know that, I have no idea. And I guess, yeah, I immediately know, okay, I guess this is going to be the setup for the eventual retcon that Boba is not actually Boba in here, but it's his daughter.
Mhm.
Yeah, first of all, if that was even true, like, wouldn't that woman have very obviously a non-male physique? So you would kind of have to notice that, hey, this looks kind of, I don't know, short and scrawny for big
Like
Boba.
Leia in the Bosch costume.
Yeah, I mean, you can't hide the fact that she's 1.50 meters or like 55 or something. That's
maybe.
Then again, they also fell for it, so what do I know? Yeah, and then yeah, she also asked him if he could be an alien. So I'm like, okay, then the setup is probably going to be a stretch, because now you can also justify that there's just a random alien under there, or that Boba Fett always was an alien. So yeah, but oh well. Chapter 3. Yeah, Tenel Khan now starts showing signs to the reader that she likes Jason, and his jokes make her actually feel at ease. It's book 8, by the way, of Young Jedi Knights, so thankfully we're getting some pace into that romance already. Yeah.
Did you write down the joke though? That's the real question.
I have not. I assume.
Oh, okay. Are you ready? It's kind of a banger here. So
hit me with it.
Buzz. And then Tenoka goes, who's there? And then Jason goes, dismay. And then Tenoka goes, dismay who? And then he says, this may not seem funny to you, but I'm hoping you'll at least smile.
Yeah, that's it. What can I say? It is what it is.
Please, the master of comedy.
Please, you guys, you've read NJO. Please play devil's advocate for me. What about this character in Young Jedi Knights is theoretically, if you really had to steelman the argument, what is salvageable about him?
He likes animals.
He does like animals, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Hitler liked people.
He did.
Again, showing that this is perfect foreshadowing for Darth Kaitis.
Obviously, yeah. Okay, yeah, fair enough.
She didn't laugh at my jokes. So I gotta go evil.
Anakin is secretly sending her hologram messages, so I'm gonna fuck his girlfriend in revenge.
Mm-hmm.
Is this in these books when Anakin is teaching someone how to do her hair. Is that in this?
Yes.
That is Anakin sending her hologram messages about how to braid her hair because she only has one hand.
Yeah, that was
And,
book 5.
okay, and Anakin, being the genius that he is, knows how to do that one-handed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he figured it out because he's better.
Wait, I vaguely remember that. Doesn't he demonstrate it on Leia?
Oh, I don't
Yeah,
know.
He practiced on Leia, and then he sent a holo message to Tenelka. This is at the start of book 5.
Okay.
Even though I assumed Tenelka has like traditional, like hairpin braiding that she does, which of course wouldn't be.
Yeah,
But
but Anakin
how
figured it out.
can she do it one-handed? And if anybody knows how to do something one-handed, it's Anakin Solo.
I guess so. Yeah, I have to say, but Jason and Jaina Solo in Young Jedi Knights are really shit characters because there's really not a whole lot of personality to them. And
How
whatever
dare you? They have
What?
Jason has his jokes, and they both have their love interests.
True. That they, I mean, Jason at least don't cares about her literally when the next female arrives. So
Yeah, it's a very realistic portrayal. But I mean, Jaina lusting after the bad boy.
true. I mean that is the foreshadowing of her entire character arc. So fair enough. I guess they followed up on that. Yeah, I mean, there's really nothing more to say to that. And thank fuck, because that's the only part of him I can tolerate. So that's good. Yeah, but we actually we have a smart little interaction here. So the coordinates where they travel to, supposedly where the Thule fleet is empty. So the place they travel to is empty, except for one ship that contacts them, which allegedly has Reyna's second cousin on board, who's called Dro Prag, and it makes sense to generally have this kind of security measure to not just immediately give out the location of your entire fleet, but be like, okay, no, we're actually just going to leave one ship behind. The fleet is going to be somewhere else entirely. We'll contact you with that one ship, make sure you're actually the people who you claim to be, and then we'll take you back. Yeah, and then, of course, Reyna doesn't believe, because his family is big, he doesn't know whether he has a cousin who's named like that. So he's like asking him a question that only a Thule could know the answer to. He, of course, passes the test, and then they just fly off. Which this kind of interaction leads him to believe, yeah, there's this occasional scene where Rebecca just stole the pen from Kevin and wrote, because that is too smart for Kevin. I'm sorry. I can't quite believe that's made by him. Who's Riz? The Jason Riz. I mean, he made the junkie kind of like him, I guess. And the princess. And I guess he likes the junkie more than the princess. Because he thinks he can fix her. Fair enough, We've all been there. Chapter 4. Yeah, Reyna's father, he always made sure to actually have the best air conditioning and air filtration systems on their ship because it was their home and he was going to take care of it. What a good guy. That's a nice, if he scores. I mean, he got one kiss in this entire 14-book series. I guess better than a lot of people, but Oh yeah, and then we just get to witness kind of a beautiful scene after Luke leaves. So the kids stay, and I kind of hoped that everyone's parents was informed, but I think they actually were. And yeah, and he leaves them so Luke leaves them in a heavily fortified fleet, although he kind of should stay there because honestly, there's not really a more important place in the galaxy for him to be right now than at the side of his family, but oh well. But yeah, he leaves them in a place that is pretty secure actually, and not just a death trap waiting to snap. So that's good. And then we get to see a little water ceremony. So it's clearly of significance to the Thules and even to Reyna. And it gives even more credence to him just being like a guy who loves his home, and shows that in wearing his traditional clothing from back home and practicing the culture he's part of. But he's probably an arrogant prick who doesn't want to wear like beige shit clothing. Yeah. Chapter 5. We have a great quote. Zack was forgiven. I asked myself, by whom? Like, Luke?
Zack.
Yeah, Zack was forgiven by Zack. That's actually, and by Jaina.
It's like the scene in Rise of Skywalker when Kylo Ren forgives himself by imagining his dad.
Remember that. Or The Last of Us 2, we have the same thing. Ellie making peace with her imagination because, of course, the character isn't present that she's talking to. I hate that. It seems kind of like a trope to make sense, or like to make peace with yourself and pretend that this was now a meaningful character arc when it kind of isn't. But oh well. And I'm like, did the families of the victims of his vicious, selfish attack get to pass judgment? Or to get him in front of a court for his crimes? But yeah, the Jedi are literally taking over the justice system, I guess. So maybe Palpatine wasn't wrong, just saying, Yeah, and oh yeah, we get a callback to, I think it was Paradise Snare, because Eren mentions that she knows Han from a past meeting on Alderaan where he appeared under a false name, and he even tried to like woo her, which I think I vaguely remember that being mentioned.
Yep.
But
I think those two books came around at the same time. So I'm pretty sure they collaborated on it.
okay, yeah, you go. Yeah, that Paradise Snare is just too long ago that I've read it, so I wasn't quite sure, but
Yes, it did happen.
Nice, yeah. And yeah, that was a good little callback to me. That didn't feel really forced. So that was like, okay, yeah, fair enough. She, I guess, would mention that. Yeah, and so we're on the fleet of the Thuls, and Tycho is there, and there's this guy they called Kusk, and he is pretty rude to Tycho, though he's inferior in rank to him, because Tycho didn't know his name, which is a bizarre thing to even get angry about. And it immediately implied to me, oh, okay, there's a mole in here, and he's the guy, right? Because why else would there be a random character that just gets mad at a little detail like that? And yeah, and I was like, I'll see if my feeling's wrong, but this random negative minor interaction seems to be kind of obvious in that regard. And then, yeah, they get attacked by a random ship, which to me sounds like suicide because this single ship runs into a fleet. But whatever. And yeah, and Eren or Reyna are supposed to be like handed out as hostages, or the ship gets destroyed. They get sent away, like for their own safety, only with Kusk, which of course is a stupid idea. First of all, there should be like personal guards that you know by name to guard them instead of some guy that you have no clue who he even is. And also not just one guy to defend two people. That's also kind of a bad idea. And yeah, Kusk, he goes to the Rock Dragon because he's a pro killer. And of course, he's unknown enough to not be recognized. Like, I assume he was hired at some point and he was vetted. And I guess he was unknown enough to not be known to anybody. But yeah, and he just goes to the Rock Dragon to escape and nobody really stops him. Even though all these places like should be guarded and defended. But okay. And then yeah, the kids, they team up to disarm him with the Force. And then apparently the enemy ship just gets destroyed. And he's like sad because I think his brother was on there or something. So that was a scene that happened. And yeah, it was really weird when I recognized, like, oh, I can really see and I can really feel when there's a scene that's written by Rebecca and when there's one that's written by Kevin. You can just tell. I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
The good ones are the Rebecca ones,
Yeah.
by the way.
Exactly. Yeah. That's the only thing actually. Chapter 6. Oh yeah, there's another quote here. Still busy with trying to make peace with his memories as a dark Jedi. Yeah, the families of the murdered children didn't get that chance. Thanks, Zach. Oh yeah, the bar that Luke went to with Tenel Ka in one of the previous books, Zack actually goes there now himself. Because, of course, there's only literally one bar in the galaxy where you get information from. And
It's the bounty hunter bar.
it's the bounty hunter bar trademark. Yeah. And yeah, in that bar, there's a jukebox. And it plays like aggravatingly loud music. And nobody likes it. But those who put a coin into it can play whatever they want. I'm pretty sure you could also just remove that option, but that's just me. And yeah, Zack gets his first side quest, which is to find somebody who told him that he had a cellar for some objects who then disappeared. Or even wondered, like, is that a crime? Like, you say, hey, I found somebody, and then you just disappear. Like, is that illegal? I don't see why it would be, but I guess that's who Zack now wants to find. Sure. Chapter 7. Yeah, as I said, everything was Kusk's plan. They just happened to run into the kids that stopped him from abducting the Thults to lure Born out. What asshole. Yeah.
Okay, quick update. My parents just brought like a bunch of boxes filled with books, and I have to go through them to see if there's anything worthwhile among them.
Really? But why?
Yeah. I don't
why
know.
would-
Apparently my sister is just getting rid of a bunch of shit, and they want to throw all of it away, but again, I should look
Yeah,
at
you may as well pick through it.
Yeah. but
All right.
why
I may
not?
be back in a bit. We shall
All
see.
right. Have fun. See
Mhm.
ya.
See.
Yeah, and exactly. So this whole plan didn't seem to account for the very real and normal possibility that this guy can't just go away. Like, I don't even get this. Like, how exactly would he have even opened the rock dragon anyway to fly with it? And yeah, it was kind of sad to see that the Thults just didn't have any defense mechanism against this whole thing, and it was just by chance that the kids saved them. But yeah, there you go. And yeah, MTD, he now wants access to their flagship, like to the flagship of the Thults. And Tycho asks how he can even know that he is dependable and not an enemy,
Which is a legitimate question, I would say.
This is a pretty legitimate question. And MTD is like indignant about it. And then the argument is immediately dropped. But he also says, like, please don't tell Aaron. I assume every access to your computers gets like documented in some way. So why would you even try to hide it? And like one indignant noise from a translator droid persuaded you to just drop the issue. That's kind of not good. And yeah, Kusk, he just used communication to send out the coordinates, which I guess he was allowed or able to do. I wouldn't know how, but sure. And yeah, there you go. And yeah, all the kids, minus Reyna, so the only ones without really necessity to listen to the Thults, they leave to Kuar, so the planet where Bornin was supposed to go to look for him. Reyna, of course, isn't allowed. And of course, they shouldn't be permitted to go there by themselves anyway. And Luke should have probably stayed with them to enforce that rule. But yeah, they are Luke's most important priority, but he doesn't really focus on them, so that's sad. Chapter 8. Yeah, I was kind of wondering, why are teenagers even going to Kuar and not just an army? But I guess we don't have an army. Oh, yeah, we have a quote here. Jason didn't want to be seen as a useless male by Tenel, like lots of people do on Dathomir and Hapes. I was like, man, both of these places are like highly dysfunctional and are sustainable only because authors say they are. So I don't think Jason should be worried about the opinions of people supporting that framework, but okay, he is in love, whatever. And yeah, the Diversity Alliance, they are doing things, or the Bolshevik, they are convincing people to not vote for humans and they apparently caused an entire human colony to lose outside contact. And yeah, the fact that teens can learn about this would lead me to believe that New Republic intelligence could as well.
No, they
But-
suck.
Yeah,
They're all spies, remember?
who am I to judge, who's on the front lines and who isn't? They suck, yeah. Fair enough. Chapter 9, yeah, Zek, he goes to Gamelin, which is wiped out. And in an act of, dare I say, something approaching a level of human intelligence, he gets a protective suit on. Because the death might have been caused by airborne bacteria or a virus. So he doesn't just leave his fucking ship. And yeah, then Bubba appears and he takes him prisoner because, of course. Chapter 10. Yeah, the kids, they go to this Kuar place. They find some things. And among those things is a sash of House Thule with some warning about death. Whatever. Chapter 11. The kids meet a giant spider. Jason wants to take it as a pet, but it's a giant spider, so of course not. And then they get saved by the female Wookiee Raba, and apparently it's that friend that Loey lost a long time ago.
Yeah, remember Loey? He's just kind of just been hanging out for the past.
He's been
buck and a half.
there. He's been doing things, hanging around, being a Wookiee. What you gonna do? And yeah, to be honest, I forgot about her. Like, yeah, I vaguely remembered that being a thing that was mentioned, but yeah. Yeah, but I'm sure this is a revelation, like akin to the feeling of the ending of Empire Strikes Back. If you knew about it, so if you did know, congrats. Chapter 12. Yeah, so I wrote down that Lenin toppled the patriarchy, so Nola toppled the Rylith government sometime in the past.
Apparently, she was a slave once.
Yeah, I guess Rogue Squadron, who had good relations to the Rylith government, didn't care. Oh well. And yeah, when she strokes her tentacles, she experiences arousal. That to me sounds like bad porn, but well, you do you. Yeah, her right-hand man is happy that there's food because he could use something to eat, something fresh and moist, quote. Yeah.
Yeah, because he's fed all the prisoners, all the human prisoners they get.
Mm-hmm.
Or some of them, I guess.
I mean, yeah, who doesn't like to eat something moist? Fair enough. Thank you, Kevin. In that moment, I kind of imagined just reading NJO instead. I was like, nah, that'd be so boring. I wouldn't get anything that happened.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Bib Fortuna, I'm informed, is based and has realized that the inferiority of the Twi'lek a long time ago, which is why he's an asshole. So good for him. And yeah, I was kind of incredulous to find out that Lenin's the half sister of that green Twi'lek that Jabba killed in that movie I watched as a kid.
Remember her?
I remember that one little scene that introduced the Rancor, and that was the only purpose of the character.
I really don't know why this connection's here, but it is. So
I don't know either, because it doesn't really lead to any meaningful payoff. It's just its connection. Like it vaguely connects one work to another because this character is connected to this character. And I'm sorry, the only thing that it does, it makes your universe look really small for no reason. Because like if everything is connected, but we're talking about an entire galaxy, like you're kind of destroying that feeling. Like actually, the amount of times characters from one work should be connected to characters from another work if they don't even come from the same planet, or like they're not even vaguely in the same area, that should be like minimized. That should basically never happen, but that's just me. And yeah, but Lenin's right-hand man eats some gambling fraudster alive. That's a scene that happens. Yeah, that's how I like my YA fiction about Jedi training. Great. And yeah, and then the Bolsheviks, they go to generic alien planet number 54, whatever, to try and manipulate people. Yeah, we're approaching Schiller levels of literature here, I have to tell you. Chapter 13, Bugslut and her friends, they fight spiders. This is a smart setup, by the way, of her getting gangbanged by bugs in the future. Troy is really the king of callbacks, I have to say. Good on him. Chapter 14, Raba, she pretended to be dead because in her like trial of adulthood, whatever, she got wounded and she got scared that predators could smell her blood and would kill her, and she was too ashamed to return home, which once again proves that the Wookiees have an inferior culture. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. Yeah, so we learn that Raba is a Bolshevik too. She fully buys the cause, but she also doesn't rip apart the teens. So I guess good on them. Yeah, I do love how Raba speaks about the cruelty of man when her entire species sends kids into a forest full of predators and carnivorous plants that want to eat you alive. That really leads me to buy your cause, because that isn't a culture that was imposed on you by humans. That is your culture, and your culture is kind of shit.
If anything, the Wookiees should have more of a stand against the what the fuck is Borsk's species, right?
Oh yeah, the
Not
Trandoshan.
Borsk. What the fuck?
Bosk.
Bosk.
Yeah,
my
the
brain,
Trandoshan.
my brain is melting. Yeah,
Yeah.
Trandoshans. Because they hunt them for some reason.
They take their fur as like trophies. So it's kind of not humans actually. Like, is it more humane to be hunted for your for your fur, or to just be enslaved? I don't know. I mean, but it was only the Empire kind of who enslaved you, and since the New Republic came around, you're like who's oppressing you? Yeah, the evil guys. But what can I say? I mean, you're building computer factories in trees. There's really nothing I can say to that. But yeah, you have a shit culture. What can I like? That's really it. Oh well. And yeah, I can't believe that there is a movement that retarded even forming when Leia has been, beyond any reason really, kissed alien asses for her entire tenure. Like, that was her thing. She invites random people and speaks to them directly because there's nobody else literally who can negotiate. Oh well. And Raba, she tells Loey that, quote, betrayal has many faces, which is just mumbo jumbo for all humans are evil. To which Loey counters that it also includes leaving your friends and family behind, letting them think you're dead, which is kind of a fair criticism, to be honest. But oh well. Chapter 15. Yeah, Lenin, she holds a Bolshevist speech in front of some aliens, mentioning scenes that I remember from other movies and books. And that's really baffling. She mentions the enslavement of the Nokri, which I thought was like very secret and not known to basically anyone. And that's also a thing where I'm like, why would the New Republic hypothetically even make that thing?
I think using it as propaganda.
Maybe, yeah, sure.
I think it's a possibility.
Yeah, it's interesting how it's also selectively not mentioned that one single human freed them from slavery.
Of course, that's not relevant.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like the Brits hoping they get plus points for ending slavery, but nobody cares. Poor you. Oh, man. Chapter 16. Yeah, the guy that Zack looked for is dead. He was left to rot in prison because Lenin let him release a virus unknowingly, and it only killed humans, and they incarcerated him. So when the whole colony was wiped out, he just eventually starved to death. And then, yeah, they briefly team up, like Zack and Bubba, and then Bubba leaves again. That's it.
Some real compelling stuff happening here, by the way.
I was getting kind of worried when we took so long for the first book, but the more one sentence summaries I have here, the better I feel, because it feels like, oh yeah, we're gaining some time back. Yeah, Jason finds Tenelka doing her gymnastics routine in a training suit made of lizard skin, which I'm just gonna let stand on its own, and you can judge that however you want. So yeah, Fonterrat, that's the client. I think something. So yeah, Fonterrat, he was a guy who was supposed to get some shells for Lenin, like so for Nola, and Raba was supposed to receive them in her name, and somehow Bornin is connected to all of that. Like that was the part where I like really got confused about what's even going on. It's like I there's too many people here crossed in weird ways, and it makes no sense to me. But then yeah, suddenly Tycho appears to help, and he makes offhanded comments about how Bornin for sure is involved in sketchy business because Nola is the epitome of sketchiness. Raba, as we would expect from her in the future, copes, seethes, dilates, and molds about it, and eventually just flies away.
Yeah, she storms off like a little bitch.
Yeah, and I love that Tycho literally doesn't acknowledge it at all. He's like, yeah, whatever, do whatever you want. Which of course is absolutely based and the only correct response to that. Chapter 18. Raba literally leaves because she was destroyed with facts and logic, which is the perfect representation of a Bolshevik. So good on Kevin. Yet Tycho was offered to actually sleep in the same space as the kids were sleeping in, but he actually isn't a creepy sex offender, so he declines. And it's another neat setup for the future desires of, Bugslut to engage in sexually immoral behavior by having sex with bugs. So good on him. And yeah, then death machines arrive, and they're led by IG-88, and they destroy their ships and try to kill them. Okay, chapter 19.
They sure did.
That was almost something that happened. They hide somewhere, and Jason is like, quote, "This is worse than the spice mines of Kessel." How would you even know, you fucking phony? And I do remember that from the other shitty book series that KJ wrote, so good on him. IG-88 is that he throws a grenade at a giant spider and it just utterly tears it apart, like very explicitly. Like parts of the stomach, there's like twitching legs, they get yeeted around, and other droids just rip them apart limb by limb. This is a young reader's book, by the way. At least I'm told so. There you go. Jason, he has a big brain quote. "I like animals, but not if they want to eat my sister." Yeah, that's a really relatable teenager that's currently getting attacked by giant death spiders.
It's like modern Marvel humor.
Yeah, sadly. It was Marvel humor before Marvel humor existed.
That just happened, Lamau.
Oh my god, did you just observe that literally happened? Like, so funny. Yeah, and then IG-88, he calls Tycho Uncle Tycho. He saves him in some way. He doesn't want to hurt him, but he says that he will if the kids force him. And then he leaves with Tycho taken prisoner. Okay. Chapter 20. Yeah, we get to see more of Raba's terminal victim complex, because she calls everyone like Lois' supposed human friends. No, they're just his friend. Like, you were a shit friend. You made him believe that you died. So, and yeah, of course, it was lucky that the rock dragon was not quite destroyed, so it can be repaired. It, of course, would have been really awkward if those emotionless death robots would just actually get the job done. Because those cats then would have stayed there and just died. Oh, I think that was the last chapter, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Chapter
that's
3.
it. It ends with them going back to Yavin 4, and they're way too happy after Tycho just got kidnapped.
I was so mentally not there that I didn't even write that I have no out of 10 rating. Jesus. Yeah. What
This
what
one
did you
doesn't this one isn't infuriating, thankfully. So it's not good, but
Yeah.
I think I gave it a 3. But like for context for anyone watching, the numbers at this point mean nothing for this series. Don't read it.
Yeah. They don't. They don't. Yeah. If I have to think, yeah, I guess it wasn't infuriating. Yeah, it wasn't that aggravating, I guess.
It has the thalls, and that's
It has
based.
the tools. They're being nice. They're being cool. Yeah, I guess like maybe a 2 or a 3, and that could be kind of fair. Yeah, because it's bad, but there's like some scenes that are vaguely okay.
I'm back. I'm out of breath.
Welcome back.
Yeah, I had to go to the basement and go through all of these fucking books. I found some good ones, actually.
Oh, that's nice.
Gonna share pictures later. I'm going.
So you found some good ones, unlike this one.
Yeah, but
which book are you on?
We're
we
about to
just
start the
finished,
third one.
we just finished book 2. We're about to jump into this baby here, Delusions of Grandeur, number 3 that we're going to talk about today.
You know what shocked me the most was going through these books and realizing my sister had a bunch of English books.
Oh,
I don't believe she can actually read these.
I
No
mean,
offense, but I don't.
hey, but now you can read them, so
She had a bunch of books about fucking Africa, and then obviously one that I had to get for myself because before my dad throws them away. She has a book called Holocaust Handbücher, Band 33, Gesundheitsfürsorge in Auschwitz.
it's like what health advice in Auschwitz. Yeah, I mean, I guess if there's one place on Earth that you would need health advice in, it might be that place. Yeah, so fair enough. And speaking of Auschwitz, Delusions of Grandeur.
I was just to say the same thing.
Yeah, there's the cover. So this is Mechas 3, I think, was the planet. We have Dengar and IG-88, which are characters from a movie that I've definitely watched. We have the classic "Here are your young characters" thing going on here. We have Tenelka, who kind of just looks like Medusa at this point. I think her one-armed braiding isn't working as well as she hoped it would. We have Jason. We have Jaina, who, like, her eyes are kind of really leaning into the aristocracy thing here, so good on her. And yeah, I was not sure who that's supposed to be, as we talked about. It can't be Zack because Zack has a ponytail.
Who?
So it this one here.
That's Luke.
It is just Luke. But why would it be Luke?
Yeah, first of all, why would it be Luke? Why does he look so young? I mean, he hasn't looked so young in ever, really.
Is Luke even in this book?
I don't know. I don't think so, really. Because, I mean, Anakin isn't in this book either, I think.
I don't think so, no.
Reyna...
No!
isn't.
It's not Raynar, I don't think.
I don't
Although he
think
does
so.
kind of have the nose. Like, if you look,
guess so, but
compare that to
I think.
the picture of mine. Kind of got the red thing going, but why would his hair completely change to Luke?
Yeah, so I guess it only could be from the looks. Yeah, he definitely looks like Luke. Oh well, whatever. I mean, I guess they could have just put Lowy in, so I don't know why they didn't. But yeah.
Okay, sorry, I'm going through these books. I thought this was a misprint right now. It's a Ken Follett novel, hardcover, and I just opened it, and all the text is upside down. And then I realized, oh, that's just because my sister put the, what do you call it, the cover,
Dust jacket.
the dust jacket on the
Ah.
wrong way.
That's actually kind of funny.
Oh, by the way, this is good news for you guys because you want me to get treatment or whatever. She had an English. She had an English fucking self-help book. In the meantime, finding yourself and the love you want. So
That sounds
obviously,
like a white woman, yeah.
I had to get that one.
Yeah, of course. Understand? Hey, it's a
Anything is
beginning.
good.
That's good. Oh man, yeah. The only thing they can trust is the Force. I didn't even notice these cringe headlines before. Fucking hell. Okay.
I don't think the other books had those. That's. Ugh.
I think the previous one had something like it, like the book with Jason and Jaina or something. Yeah, Delusions of Grandeur. I'm not quite sure why that's the name of the book because I just
Because
have
they
no.
say it in, I think, Empire Strikes Back.
I think so too, and there's two characters that I remember from that movie. Wait, the German title. What was the German? Oh yeah, it was Voices of Anger. I have
Furchtbare
nothing.
Stones.
Stimmen des Sons. Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, whatever. I don't care. It looks kind of meh, not really good. So, who cares? Chapter 1. Yeah, so Jaina, she makes holograms to get Zack Senpai to notice her. Tanelka gets called an Amazon, which I consider inappropriate. And yeah, Peckham has a passenger with him, and someone Leia would be happy about to be safe. And Jaya's eyes light up, thinking that it's Zack, when it's actually Reyna. And she's
Based.
like disappointed. She's so awful. And yeah, it's based, of course, that Reyna was saved and not fucking Zack. Chapter 2, Lowy is sad. Chapter 3. That's all I have. Like Lowy is
That's
sad.
what happens.
Yeah, that's literally everything that happened. Chapter 3. Zack is very smart as a bounty hunter because he did what he was told and he brought evidence for the story that he claimed. And that makes him smart.
He's a great bounty hunter because he completed one job.
He completed one job and he collected evidence for the job being completed. Great. Mind-blowing stuff here. He also accepts the next job without even knowing what the next job is. I mean, we truly have the next Copernicus in the making here. I hope you realize that. Yeah, and Zack, he smiles thinking about Jaina, and this is a smart setup, of course, for him banging her while both are under the influence of bugs, and also him having a threesome with the future emperor. Great stuff, you guys. Truly outstanding. And yeah, Zack, he gets a mysterious client who orders him to send coded messages, which I was kind of baffled by because I was like, coded messages, that exists? Like, people can actually not literally send out exactly what they mean, but they can actually like encrypt everything so that nobody understands what's going on. That's great.
It's honestly a new idea. Like they should use it more.
Yeah, they should listen to the tools to do that. Yeah, so he's supposed to send coded messages to specific places for the Thule fleet, and also to find Tycho Thule. Zack, he has a feeling, not that tonight's going to be a good night, but he just has a feeling that the client that he has is actually Bornan. And
Wait a second.
That's literally the only suspicion that he has, and it leads him down a path that eventually,
Yeah,
gets him reunited with.
it's
Yeah, okay,
correct.
He's
But
correct.
like,
Yeah, that is
but
born.
why? Why
Why would he have that feeling?
the Force? I guess I don't know.
I guess the Force, yeah, because why wouldn't the Force assist you in realizing you're meeting somebody you've never met before? Yeah, exactly. But yeah, the only reason is the rest of the plot can happen because now Crybaby, so Zack doesn't have to feel bad about having to find this guy for a rando and just to give him over to his death. But now it's like, oh, I'm finding Tycho Thule for Born in Thule. So, yeah. Chapter 4. Tion, she sings an ad for the Tales of the Jedi prequels, and
Yeah, because Golden Age of the Sith is out already now. So.
yeah, she speaks about the Daragons or whatever the name was.
Gavin, Jory, my boys.
Yeah, really relatable. And she gives a new Jedi-related lesson, which is to trust the Force and that anger leads to the dark side. This, I mean, I guess that isn't incorrect, but isn't that like the first thing that you literally should hear out of her mouth, and not like in your 5th year, whatever that they're
It's
in
been
right
here
now?
for years.
And it's like, yeah, by the way, don't be angry. There you go. Yeah, and then Raba seems to return, and everyone has fun, I guess. But Jaina once again wishes Zack was here, and thinks about how he tries, quote, to wash his dirty past. First of all, it's like a few weeks that it happened. Like, it's been a few weeks since it happened. It's not like we're talking about, the years and years of my past. And then again, it's also a very flowery way of speaking about murder. And I'm not sure how being a bounty hunter redeems you.
That's actually a really good point.
Like how exactly? How does that work? Like, I couldn't even.
I hate
steal
being a
men.
murderer, so I'm gonna go collect bounties and hits on people.
I'm not even sure I could steelman the argument here. Like, how would I? But yeah, there you go. That's his master plan, and I guess he's committed. So there you go. Yeah. While Raba is there, she only fraternizes with Loey and some other non-humans.
Because she's racist.
Yeah, we might as well just segregate the Praxium while we're at it. And also, why does Luke let these random people stay at his Praxium who know nothing about the Force and never will? I don't understand. He does it all the time, and it accomplishes nothing. But yeah, then Loey goes to Kashyyyk with her because now she actually wants to admit everything. I don't know where that arc came from, but there you go. She literally didn't. She said, like, I don't want to return. That was like her prerequisite of returning. I want to achieve something of my own so I can return back proud. The thing is, she's now coming back and she hasn't actually achieved anything.
Yeah, but
So
now she has the idea that we'll find out.
Yeah,
Recruiting a bunch of Wookiees to their cult.
as we know, yeah. Oh well. Chapter 5. Yeah, the centaur girl from Crystal Star is back. I have to admit, I don't actually remember her because, yeah, but yeah, she's from Crystal Star, so there you go. We get her backstory. She became a Bolshevik and went to Kaiser. I think Kaiser is a planet because some humans accidentally wiped out some insects. So after murder because of eating a bouquet, this is a new level of like motivation here. So I don't even know how would the Diversity Alliance find out about some insects being wiped out. But yeah. And her mission was to manipulate the nav computers. So the humans who are now returning never find the place again. or something. I'm like, for sure there are records of the flights and everything. I mean, they found it at some point. They would find it again eventually. But yeah, and that's kind of it. But then she felt guilty about manipulating those things because she saw a little girl, and then she was afraid that she'd be responsible for the deaths, which if you're
She was?
already yeah, she would be. If you're already committed to like doing that thought should have crossed your mind already. So now you're thinking like, oh yeah, by the way, if I kill them, then I'm actually responsible for their death. Jeez, that's some heavy stuff. And yeah, because without their nav computers, they would fly blindly.
Yeah,
and I guess
maps don't exist. I don't know if you knew that. And you can't
Yeah, of
actually
course.
manually pilot it to the place.
Yeah, and like if you don't have a navigation, then I guess you're just. I mean I know this from my car. If I don't type my destination into the navigation, then I'm just gonna drive into a wall eventually because I don't know where to fly. I guess that's how it works. Yeah, and I mean, wouldn't they, as they're about to start, just get a warning that, hey, by the way, your nav computer doesn't work? Don't they have some backup data that they could just load on whatever details? And yeah, she admits everything to them, and she was forgiven after admitting it because human culture is based. And then she left the Bolsheviks to become a Jedi. And that's her history up until now. Chapter 6. Yeah, so Zek thinks about how he could establish himself as a bounty hunter by just, catching Tycho and cashing in on the money. But it would require him to, quote, sacrifice his ethical principles. Yes, the ethical principle of evading justice after committing and assisting in murder on multiple accounts, because that's an ethical thing to do. Yeah, and Zek meets Dengar. He's from that scene in that movie that I watched as a kid, and he meets him on Ziost. It's that planet from that comic I read a while ago. And he found him because he placed oh god, I don't know how do you pronounce that stupid word? B-U-O-Y.
B-U-O-Y.
Why the thing that's usually like in the water that's supposed to
buoy.
show you buoy.
Oh yeah.
Buoy. I know the German word, but I don't.
Just say it in German, no one cares.
The buoy, yeah, the buoy. Yeah, he placed.
Yeah, buoy.
Yeah, buoy. Yeah, he placed buoys everywhere and he found the signal that Zek sent out somewhere. I don't even want to try to understand how that's supposed to happen. Whatever. And then he almost dies, but I think Zek. But then a grenade that hits his unshielded ship rear doesn't detonate. That's very lucky. And then we later find out, oh, okay, this had a point. But
because obviously it did.
Yeah, but why didn't he just shoot explosives at his ship?
Because I guess Dengar thought he had a lead, maybe.
Perhaps, sure, yeah. Yeah, but I remember how that character one time said that there's no luck, so everything isn't forced at all. This does work, and yeah, Zek is like, you'll all fear me one day, and then he escapes with magic or something, and Dengar is angry. I don't quite remember what happened here, and I don't care. Chapter 7. Oh yeah, Erin Drow, she receives a pretty heartfelt message from Bornan. She gets very emotional about it. This is like unironically the highest quality chapter and probably seen in the entire series so far.
Yeah, I agree.
And probably just the entire series. I don't remember if there was a better one, but I think that was the best chapter because there's nothing else literally in there other than her listening to the message like multiple times. Yeah. There you go. Chapter 8. So yeah, Lowy dropkicks the Bolshevik Wookiee, yeah. The Bolshevik Wookiee Reba with facts and logic, but he also thinks that she looks hot when she's speaking about murder and subjugation. Who wasn't?
I get it.
Yeah, we all were at this place at one point. I understand. Poor Lowy should never really stick his dick in crazy, but yeah. I just had to write that stupid internet meme down. Yeah, people always speak about what zero pussy does to a motherfucker, but we've seen what pussy does to a motherfucker, and it's way worse. Chapter 9. Yeah, apparently Lenin has a virus that has more destructive potential than the Death Star or the Sun Crusher. Sure. I don't quite know how you get more destructive than wiping out a solar system with one single charge and literally being indestructible. But I'm sure there's a way.
I think you just go to galactic scale at that point, right?
Yeah. I mean,
like black hole is the only thing up above it, I guess.
I guess so. And spoiler, it's not a black hole that she uses. She has a virus, so. And yeah, she also mentions that like humans, in contrast to skilled scientists, like, oh, they're so stupid or something. No, honey, I'm sorry that humans are the best in this universe canonically because everyone else is written stupidly, but stay mad about it. And then, Arizona, if you're still here, now you get the payoff to that stupid thing. The Imperial Guard from the first arc returns, so the one surviving guy that went away, the leader. Yeah, and then all these random aliens that are there complain about the Imperial Guards and how they were terrorized by them. And I immediately think, no, you weren't. They are guards. I mean, they weren't really sent out as like troops. I mean, what they are thinking about is stormtroopers. Like, Imperial Guards didn't really terrorize people a lot, did they? Like,
maybe it's just like a symbol thing.
I guess so, yeah. But it seemed like they explicitly meant these kinds of guys. Like, really these kinds of troopers did it, but whatever, yeah. Yeah, and so we kind of get what happened to him. Like, he tried to work with aliens to get away, and that is now his canonical mistake because it eventually got him captured and beaten up by just violent thugs. And I asked myself, what did Kevin mean by this? No, like, actually, that was kind of stupid to do for somebody who wants to spiritually continue Palpatine's empire. Like, you probably shouldn't work together with aliens if that's your goal and you don't really have the power to enforce it. But yeah, Kevin managed to do something he couldn't do for the entire previous arc, which is make him look like semi-interesting. But yeah, like Lenin, she asks some plot things, he refuses to answer, and then the Bolsheviks, like, they kill him with something, and they basically jerk each other off about how much pain they are in or something. And it's also supposed to, of course, demonstrate the stupid virus to the reader. Like, hey, this guy dies like a little bitch. This is a young reader's book, by the way. This guy's just dying in excruciating pain. Yeah, and yeah, the only reason that Lenin failed to retrieve the data, whatever, that she was supposed to get at this point is because of irony. The irony being that she got herself a human to do the dirty work. Okay. And I was like, Kevin J. Anderson is a cancer on the Star Wars timeline that needs to be surgically removed with a lot of retcons. I'm sorry. I don't like what this guy's legacy is. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Somebody apparently thought something and he, quote, might have been afraid the Diversity Alliance has infiltrated the government of the New Republic, which is correct,
Yes.
end quote. Yeah. I was like, screw you, Kevin, and your entire pseudo-author career. That's the only card he can play. Oh yeah, they infiltrated the enemies, I guess. Like, it's a bunch of idiots. They aren't exactly subtle with what they want, but yeah, they want to plant something evil or something. Chapter 10.
Evil, evil, evil.
Evil. Yeah, so Zack is thinking about setting up a trap for Bornin. And the only thing that's stopping him from doing that is the fact that he'd get blacklisted as a bounty hunter for double-crossing his client. And Jaina, of course, wouldn't want to spread her legs for him if he did that. Though she might still want to. I would believe that, actually. Yeah. So that's that, really. And yeah, that's really obviously a morally good and righteous person who seeks redemption for his apparently inherent evil nature. Oh yeah, he goes to that cantina on that desert planet that I remember from that movie. Yeah, he literally goes to the fucking Mos Eisley cantina. Because of course he does. Oh yeah, apparently Zack knows that Dengar saved Boba from Carcoon. I don't know why he would know that. It sounds kind of stupid, but he does.
Yeah, considering Han didn't even know it until Dark Empire.
Yeah.
I don't even think he knew that part, actually. Just that he was alive.
Yeah, I don't think he did either.
Mhm.
But yeah. And yeah, he meets Boba there, and he tells Boba where Dengar thought Born was gonna be. In exchange, Boba gives him advice on how to handle 2 conflicting jobs that he takes, and Boba gives him advice, and the advice is finish job 1 first, and then job 2. Good advice.
Yeah, makes sense for a bounty hunter.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, character progress. Chapter 11. Yeah, suddenly they have practice swords in the Praxium to train with. Okay.
I guess Luke upgraded after one of his students accidentally lost her arm.
Because he didn't check the blades. Yeah.
Because he was dumb. Yeah. Yeah, Luke. So yeah, Lusa is there, and Luke was actually trying to be a wingman for Reyna. And it's probably the first morally or logically not questionable move that he's pulled in this entire series so far. It's like, hey, you seem to like her, so hey, you go with him.
It'd also be good for her to talk to a human.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, we have this awkward scene of Reyna asking Lusa, like that's the first question he asks her, is what her friends should be like. And he accidentally touches her while he's drawing the way that they're gonna walk. Then she immediately runs away. He's trying to run after her. And yeah. Yeah, that's it. And then Reyna is kind of looking for a way to help his family. And he decides that the thing that he can do is to run the droid factories that his uncle would usually run, since otherwise apparently they'd be unattended, which I don't think is good. And in the end, we learn that okay, there's something happening there on the droid planet that makes this all right. But yeah, Reyna of course shouldn't go there. Yeah, and apparently all the kids will follow him there, so that's kind of nice. Yeah. And I guess that's allowed while bounty hunters are out there taking the Thul's as prisoners to lure out Bornin.
Yeah.
So Luke shouldn't allow that, of course. But Luke shouldn't do a lot of things. Yeah, chapter 12. Zach, he keeps getting letters by Jaina. And he hopes that one day he'll have his life in order so much that he can talk to her. The fact that, at least in New Jedi Order, as far as I can tell, all these hopes will be crushed brutally is, like, unsurprisingly satisfying to me. So yeah, there you go. He hoped to meet her again, and she actually just found another man. That's cool. Yeah. Oh, another quote by him. He needed to meet with her, with proof that he's not the Darkest Knight. So what he will do first is strengthen his reputation as an uncompromising but just bounty hunter. I'm not quite sure how that.
What is a just bounty hunter?
I don't know, because the point of being a bounty hunter is that you don't really care about justice. You're doing a job. So shouldn't he become like a soldier instead? Oh well.
Or like a temp?
Yeah. Yeah, we are. We're like pretty close to done, actually, because I don't think I have too many notes for the chapters. Yeah. But yeah, apparently that's a thing. Yeah, Zach goes to the battle spiders that they fought against some time ago. And he finds out somehow that the CPU of the IG-88 killer droid has new serial numbers, even though the production of these kinds of droids was stopped decades ago. I asked myself, like, why the hell would that be even visible in, like, does that make sense for it to be visible in the serial numbers that you're producing something that's illegal? I don't think that's sensible, but that's me. Yeah, and like, okay, I guess we'll see what that is supposed to mean now. Yeah, and apparently those droids were constructed in Tycho's place on Mechas 3, so the droid factory that he runs there. So there you go. Yeah. Chapter 13.
Can I take this one? This one's pretty good one. Okay, so chapter 13, the idiot squad lands on Mechas 3. And then we get a nice little Jason joke, actually. So.
Oh no. Okay, shoot. What is it?
This one might actually be the worst one.
Oh, okay.
What does an Imperial Star Destroyer wear to a formal occasion?
A tie.
Well, first, Tenoka goes, why would Imperial Star Destroyers wear anything? And then Jason goes, still don't quite get the hang of these jokes, do you? And then Tenoka goes, very well. What does an Imperial Star Destroyer wear to a formal occasion? And then Jason says, a bow tie. And then tie is written in all caps because, yes, you are right. It is in fact a tie. That's
yeah. There's nothing I really have to say.
And then I wrote, I want to commit many crimes right now, and I thought that was very important to this chapter. So
yeah, I don't remember this joke actually, but I think it was basically kind of written the same way in German. The problem is, of course, in German it makes no sense because tie isn't the exact same word in German, but I don't even remember it, so I don't care. I think Noah wanted to read Supernatural Encounters with Liv, so I'm not sure if he's going to bed anytime soon. But yeah, there you go.
I have to leave right now, actually.
You have to leave right now? Well, there you go.
Yeah. But it was fun hanging around, you know.
Fantastic book series, is it not?
Absolutely, it's amazing.
It's so great. Yeah, thanks for sticking around for so long, and have a nice evening.
Yeah, I'm gonna go through these books that I just found. It's insane.
Sounds like more fun than this, so good on you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
See
ya. So, yeah, exactly. They land on Mechas 3. I don't like that. It seems that the other Thulls are not aware or aren't taking care of the droid factories, but as we talk about, like, that kind of gets resolved. Yeah, and so they get greeted by a protocol droid so the teens. And he said that he wouldn't even let them in if they were the emperor, which doesn't seem like something a good guy should tell you, but whatever. And yeah, apparently the protocol droid then runs away from them after the kids threaten him, which also seems kind of counterintuitive. And yeah, then they get attacked by weapons that seem to be not working as they should. But now we get the revelation that Tycho is actually here, and he's angry that Reyna, ruined something. So I was like, okay, then we'll probably get explanations here soon. Chapter 14, on Kashyyyk, Raba gives a Bolshevik speech about oppression, and I don't care. And I called Ryloth Moscow, at least occasionally in here. She wants to go to Rylith to meet with Lenin. Syrah, I think that was Loe's sister, wants to come along.
Yep.
And she agrees, also in Loe's name, to go there. And because Loe isn't a character, he doesn't say anything about that, and he just
rolls with it.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, sure, whatever. Chapter 15. Yes, so Tycho explains now he instigated a fake abduction to get Bornen to drop his charade and reveal himself, which I consider to be pretty nice. And it just proves that, yeah, the Thuls are the superior Alderaanian family, and they just care about each other. So, yeah, that's the kind of shit you would try. Yeah, and I was like, yeah, I assume Bornen knows something which causes him to not have returned yet. And Tycho being disappointed that he now revealed himself to the kids again. So now it won't work on Bornen. That doesn't seem to make sense, really, because he revealed himself to them in his own factory. So nobody outside the factory knows about it. So I didn't know what he was so worried about. And he said he started to produce these killer droids, and Reyna points out that it's illegal to produce them. But thank God the New Republic is a government and not a military court, so he can't possibly go to court. So that's good. Yeah, and apparently, so if I understand correctly, there's a bunch of IG-88 copies, and they all went out and did the jobs as IG-88, and that's how he became famous. Like, the IG-88 that we know him is like a Terminator who leads everybody, and I don't know. And then he left his body behind to bring himself into the second Death Star. I was kind of confused, and I mean it's not. I consider a droid bounty hunter to be kind of stupid in the first place, but yeah, whatever. That's what IG-8. So IG-88.
It kind of is pretty dumb, but
Yeah, it's whatever. Yeah, so IG-88 isn't a singular droid. Apparently, he has a bunch of copies that he's sent out of himself, and then eventually left himself behind to become the second whatever. Chapter 16. Yeah, Zek. I love how Zek, who's of course on his way, by the way, to become a good guy, he thinks about how he can get glory by just taking Born and Thule prisoner, because that's what a good guy would do. Zek jerks himself off a bit about knowing Born and Steel. But of course, it wasn't him being smart that figured it out. It was just the book saying he had a feeling. So, yeah. Chapter 17. Yeah, so the kids, they repair Tycho's security lasers that they destroyed, and they bully him because he programmed his killer droids to kill violent giant spiders because they're non-human. And they're worried because they asked him, doesn't that mean that Loe theoretically could have been killed too? I was like, no, they're bodyguards and they protected the kids. And Lowy wasn't what they needed protection from. And without those IG-88 units, they would be dead, and they couldn't even complain about it. So does it make sense to complain about it? I don't think so, but here we are. Yeah, and now the kids reprogram IG-88 to just never kill, but still just protect as much as possible.
Which is a really good thing for a bodyguard to have.
Yeah. I mean, he should kind of be able to kill. But yeah, he should, of
Maybe
course.
like have that the default, but like an override for
Sure.
Tycho.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that could work.
Yeah. And I was like, isn't just kill everything that tries to kill us not an acceptable programming? But yeah, maybe that isn't always in their interests. So yeah, whatever. Chapter 88. Yeah, so the kids, they get a reward for their side quest. So they upgrade their companion MTD with 10 new languages and his own means of flying. So now he can fly around like R2. Okay. Yeah, and then Zack arrives. He obviously is there to collect the bounty on Tycho. And yeah, for some reason, there were no killer droids or other security measures that fried his ass before he came in here. And yeah, Jaina immediately jumps him, like hugs him, because that's her character. That's like vintage Kevin J. Anderson here, so everything's normal. And yeah, Tycho, he like correctly asks, kind of incredulously, what the hell being a bounty hunter has to do with being honorable, because that's kind of what Zack seems to apply, like he wants to be honorable. And then Zack like once again jerks himself off, and even the other kids like assist him, and they shit on Tycho for like caring about his brother and wanting him to reveal himself. And yeah, Zack pretends to be a tough guy, like, oh yeah, Bornan shouldn't come out without taking care of his security again, whatever. Yeah, the only way you found out that Bornan is actually Bornan is because of a feeling. Like, it's not as if he was obvious. Like, he was pretty well hidden beneath some costume, and you just had a feeling because that's what the book said. So, it's worse considering that it's far more pages. The pure cancer on the timeline, I guess JAT is worse because it has more impact. And YJK is kind of so side quest like that you can fully ignore it. But yeah, I guess YJK I gave 0.1 out of 10 ratings, and JAT I did not.
But if you were to go back and read JAT, would it get the 0.1 now? That's the real question here.
Considering I'm now open in theory to this rating.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might actually. I wouldn't want to commit one way or the other. Like, YJK is like 2,500 pages long, and JAT isn't even 1,000. So that's like that's really the only thing I can say without feeling shitty about like saying anything good about either of these. Yeah, I don't know. Both are extremely unenjoyable, but Young Jedi Knights feels like it never ends. And I think you haven't read it yet, Maxwell, and I recommend you to never read it. But if you do, inform us, because damn, that's going to be funny. You'll suffer. Ugh. Chapter 19. Yeah, so Raba, she recruits Syrah and Lowy to the Bolsheviks, which they non-verbally accept for a reason. Chapter 20. Denga is now on Mechas 3 because he followed Zack, and he thinks that Bornan is there.
Yeah, because that explosion that was totally a dud wasn't actually a dud, and it was a tracker device.
Yeah.
I'm shocked.
Woohoo. And yeah, he gets attacked. He gets overpowered by the kids in IG-88, who shoots at the blaster of Denga and not at him. so he escapes on the ship because he has his new stupid programming. So yeah, there you go. Chapter 21. IG-88 is now sent out to search for Bornen. It literally means he'll appear at the last second, like, of this entire arc, which is kind of hilarious. Yeah, IG-88 is just sent out. Yeah, search for Bornen.
Go
Even
off.
though
You can do it.
Yeah, even though the kids like chewed out Tycho for trying to lure Bornen out, even though he didn't know why he was hiding, but now they sent this killer droid to search for him anyway. So that entire struggle session was kind of pointless. And yeah, something bad's gonna happen, boohoo. And chapter 22, Zek leaves. Happies will spy on the Bolsheviks. I don't think that actually has any payoff. I think that's just announced.
Yeah, that is correct.
It has no positive impact on the story. It just said that it's happening. There you go. And that's it. I didn't even know what to rate this because, this was the book where I like reached the ending and I realized I don't remember anything from the beginning. And yeah, I will speak when I speak about it on stream. So now the question is, what did I see?
This is the one I gave shit out of 10.
Yeah,
and then I said maybe 4 out of 10, and I don't know why I wrote that, but I guess that. But really, it's probably more 3.5. Maybe
shit
not
out
even.
of 10 is fair.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Don't
Wait, the chapter where Aaron gets the message from Bornen, was that in this book or was that the previous one? I forgot already.
This one. It's this one.
It was this one. Okay, for this, I think that was like kind of the only respectable scene, and Tycho being like a good guy. So, I think it. Would you say it was better than the previous one? I have already forgotten what the previous one was about.
I think it is.
I think it's. I guess I think I gave the previous one like a 2 or something, so I might give this one like a 2.5 or 3, or like 0.5 more than I gave the previous one. Like whatever I would kind of feel about that, because Jesus Christ, yeah, I have no clue. Yeah, that's it. Jesus Christ, that was a bit more than half of the second arc of Young Jedi Knights. Do we have like a temporary conclusion to this whole thing here?
Read Junior Jedi Knights.
Exactly, read Junior Jedi Knights. If you have Young Jedi Knights, the books, throw them away. Don't donate them anywhere, like to a clinic or something, because if somebody's in the hospital, you want them to read nice things. So just, I don't know, sell them on eBay, make a good buck out of it. Yeah, and also read Junior Jedi Knights, by the way, a second and a third time. Ooh, yeah, that's it. I feel really, really depleted of any mental capacities. So that's it. Next week we'll speak about book 10 and 11, whatever the names of those were, but those are the ones that we're going to speak about.
Jedi Bounty, Emperor's Plague.
Yeah, there you go. Some very, very compelling shit here. Yeah, I guess that's really that. There's nothing more to say unless you have something.
I
thought so. Jesus, yeah, I feel like I spoke about nothing for like almost 3 hours and 40 minutes. I have no clue what we spoke about for so long. There you go.
Why was the first one the longest? That's what I want to know.
I don't know. I randomly had like a bunch of notes. And then later on I just gave up and wrote 1 sentence summaries again. I'm at my wit's end. So don't read this series and be tuned for next week. I think we'll probably do Sunday again the same time. We'll speak about book 10 and 11, and yeah, until then, Have a nice weekend and see ya.